You know we got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, get ready for your act. Don't hold back. Cause Scooby-Doo, when you come through, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact.
Good.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Where are you? Just get louder and louder, because we can't find out.
Maybe if we sing Scooby enough times, he'll
Show up.
arrive with a lisp.
Is that? Why is this? This is so weird. I'm going to the general forum to see if anything shows up for Havoc.
Maybe he hasn't made an account.
I found Havoc.
Damn.
I found him.
Good job. Are you happy? Is your life complete?
I can't.
Do you feel fulfilled?
I'm gonna go look who he subscribed to. I found Burn.
Ooh.
I found Scuddy.
Ooh.
And I found Harumi. The girl that we were talking about in the thing. I'm subscribing to all of the above.
Ooh.
My groove.
Okay, why are we making weird noises?
Oh, you were only born in darkness. I was raised in it.
Are we being vain now?
Yes. Indeed, Batman. I will break you.
Don't worry about why, I just break you.
Can we all agree that we need that guy to play cooler?
What?
His final form.
Bane? The
Yeah.
Jim, that space, I don't remember his full name, whatever.
Yeah, fucking, I don't know.
That guy.
He,
Bane guy.
he just needs to do that voice for cooler in his final form.
Guys, I don't know. Havoc, I need...
Fucking can't find him still.
No, I found him.
What's the problem?
I can't, this is stupid. Go to post, please, thanks. Thank you.
Stanko.
Incorrect. Wow, are you serious? Dude, it doesn't even let you show your whatchamacallit, your banners. They're all links. That's dumb.
They're gonna fix that, I think.
I hope so. Otherwise, I'm gonna rage quit. I demand I can show my individuality through banners that I make. Also, banners that I steal from other people.
Yeah.
Although I don't really do that, except for the elite banners.
Yeah, shut up. You know you do.
I only stole the Yamcha one.
Sure.
But and the team. No, I made the team guy and the Earth Defender one.
Alright.
And my thing, my team thing.
Oh no, I shouldn't.
I made both. This is
These things are real.
This
Nope.
is stupid. I can't find out how to do anything on here. I'm typing in how. Where's the? That's a YouTube. That's my YouTube.
Okay. So, yeah, whatever.
Search results.
Fucking-
Burn, Scuddy, online, private message. Screw that. Whatever. How do I edit my signature on the TGN forums? And search. Okay, apparently the first one that comes up is, how do I change my signature on Lord of the Rings Online? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Oh, Scooby-Doo. I see you. This is dumb. This is stupid.
There. I got my profile pic. I'm good.
I did my profile pic and everything. Why?
Oh, can I just mention? Turles finally fucked up using his fruit for the first time.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. I'm just surprised nobody jumped on him for it. I really expected someone to jump on him for it. I mean, I'm happy that he didn't, but still.
is dying of an aneurysm?
I thought that was a hernia.
Gosh. Please.
How about we stop with the TGN forums and get on to the pod curse?
What?
I second that motion.
What motion?
See, I got a second.
What motion? I've been recording this the entire time.
Good. Okay. On to Sains and Muscle.
Let me go get the schedule up.
What the hell is this?
Don't worry about what it is. Just worry about what it is.
Wait, what? The image?
Don't.
Yes, you gotta click on it.
What? Who put an? Oh my gosh! Stop putting images in the chat.
But they're real. They're
I
real.
hope these aren't boobs.
Food
Oh,
of the
that's
tree of
not-
life. Look, they're real.
That's a.
They're real.
Oh, I gotta find these and eat these now.
What? I was confused.
What?
What the heck? Oh gosh. Okay, season 6 schedule. Week. What week is it? 7? 8?
This would be week 8? Week 9?
Yeah, it's 8. I is tired.
How's the game going?
What game?
The Pokemon game.
What am I doing Pokemon related?
What? No, the game with the people and the ball.
What?
Ball
Oh,
game?
football. What?
Ball game.
Ball
You
game.
could be more specific.
The
I
one
was
where they
being-
score slam dunks and make touchdowns.
It's almost halftime. It's 17-10. My team is winning with like less than 2 minutes left.
Did they
Okay.
do the kick goal?
So, who has the best record right now?
In football?
What's football?
Yeah, the game the game where they have a ball in their hands is football.
Well, that's a lot of games.
Well, it's the game where they don't use their feet to kick the ball,
No, they can do that.
but only in special events.
No, they can do it whenever they want.
Baseball?
Yes.
You can't
Got
kick
it.
in baseball.
What
You
are
can
you
totally
talking about?
kick. You can kick all the time. You can kick dirt in people's face.
Okay, I think that's considered cheating now.
Nah.
Come on, man. There's no such thing as cheating in games.
There's no real rules.
Okay, are we actually gonna get started now?
Yes, I've been ready for a
I
while.
don't believe you.
Did they get a yellow card yet?
That is soccer, sir. Okay, moving
what?
No, that is football, sir.
on.
That is football.
Football
That is
Americano is the only football I watch, sir. Thank
What the
you.
fuck
It's
is
football.
going
Hey,
on?
hey, if it were
It is
speaking a different
football.
language, it's
I speak football.
Americano.
I'll speak-
Well, football, there's only one
Americano,
kind of
Suro.
football over here, so.
I'll speak your Americano, Drac.
Beep, 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 boop, beep,
It's football.
boop,
El
boop, beep.
Football Americano.
Did I join
Oh,
the
it's-
wrong chat?
It's La Futbola.
Gosh dang it.
Are the Spanish
I-
winning?
Did I join the wrong chat? Did I join the foreign
They're up by 50
podcast?
points.
Yeah, go Spain!
Did I?
Go Space Broncos!
What the hell's going on?
Which Broncos?
Spanish
Space
ones.
The
Broncos!
Spanish Broncos?
No, Space Broncos.
Space.
You know,
the Space
just real,
Broncos,
yeah.
they're totally winning, right?
This Space
Nope.
Broncos.
Hey guys, don't worry, we got a yellow
Space
flag.
Australia.
There's no one here
There's
actually.
no flags in football, only cards.
Football
Come on.
Americano, Drac.
Did he make the three-pointer yet?
That. If you mean a field goal, then yes.
How many Grand Slams have there been?
All of none.
Home run!
That
Home
is-
run!
Oh!
All the sports.
Guys, don't worry, there's a
Did
shootout.
they catch the frisbee? Do they have the frisbee?
Guys, don't worry, a shootout's coming because they're almost tied.
So guys, what's going on? What did I walk into here?
Match
The
discussion.
most-
Did they reach first base yet?
And why does no one get the Space Broncos?
The Space Broncos.
I
They
know,
always
why did-
win every
why-
season. Come on.
Why did no one get the Space Broncos? It was like no one had heard of them before.
Lie. It's because Earth's new to the whole,
Because I'm a Steelers fan.
But I'm from. Wait, no, I'm not from Earth, am I? No, that's just where I died.
This is different.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah. Whoops.
So
Frazier,
So
are
when they-
you in
when they
Heffel?
when they get past that line in
I a
football,
what?
that's called the first base, right?
No, I'm in charge of the apple. Or do you mean a pool? Sorry. No, I'm in charge of a pool.
I have no words for you.
You got me confused with my dead dude.
Are they offsides? Did they get an offsides?
They went past the
You know-
defenders. It's illegal.
I'm now just imagining a pool de Doria and Zarbon playing American football.
They have to go into the penalty box.
That
And the
Oh, and
players
it's a
give you
plus one.
points. For free the
I don't
favor.
even like sports, so everything you're saying right now is just going over my head. I'm just
oh,
imagining.
we got another flag, and I can't hear what's going on because I don't want to.
Did he get a red card?
No, it's a yellow
Can
flag.
you guys hear me? Yeah,
He's going to the
We can hear
penalty
you,
box. I
Frazier.
knew it.
you can hear me, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Is he a right-handed batter?
Good call. Good call.
Is he a right-handed batter?
It's not a batter. It's a quarterback.
So if you get hit by the football, do you get a first down?
I don't understand.
If you catch it and go past the yard lines, yes.
So
Don't
if
you
get
have to
hit by-
dribble in order to move?
Guys, can you explain to me what's going on right now? Because I don't even know.
I'm
How
watching-
many seconds does the ball? get
Frazier,
to be
I'm
in your
watching
hands
an
before you
American
have to touch
football
the ground?
game.
I'm in Scotland. Explain it to me. I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh,
I-
I
Okay, well,
can actually
they-
seriously
okay.
explain it to you, but I'm not gonna.
Okay, you see, they're double dribbling
Stop.
their way
Stop.
across.
Gee, stop.
That,
Frazier. Frazier.
I know that. I know what that is.
Frazier.
Okay?
Okay. I am watching my favorite football team play another football team in football, American football.
Are there pataras?
I'm so done with this conversation. Just let me watch my game in peace.
How
Can he
does
Z-dash?
How does American football start? There's no pataras. How do you do the builds and the AIs?
Because
I
there's
don't
not
under-
enough DBZ characters to go
many-
to all these teams.
How many high-speed clashes are there for the Steelers this season?
Yes,
Actually,
many-
we just had one a second ago, and it almost erupted into a fight. So, like, I mean, a full-out like one-on-one brawl
You
fest
need
in the end zone.
indignation. You need
Come on,
indignation.
Ben,
and
go.
work-
You know,
Go.
I think football was
Touchdown.
way
Oh,
better
no,
when Michael
no.
Jordan was in it.
No touchdown.
Okay.
Michael Jordan needs to stay in basketball, even though he's retired.
The jokes on all of you. Everyone knows Popo is the professional. Everyone knows Popo is the one in charge of the sports.
Why
Whereas Frieza owns the sport league.
would the sport
How
league-
many
Yeah,
passes
foot-
are you
football-
allowed?
Football needs to get back to the good old days with Tiger Woods, and just be.
Being a slut.
Tiger Woods is
If they get-
Tiger
if
Woods
they
is a
get-
golfer. Sorry.
If they get the
What's wrong with
touchdown
golf? We
in the
betted
very
that.
first turn of the match, do they get negative points?
There has never once been negative points. There's negative yards,
Kale.
but there's no negative points.
Kale,
What?
what's wrong with golf? We invented that.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with golf, but Tiger Woods can't.
How many
like-
touchdowns? How many touchdowns does it take before they switch to the next map? Oh,
As many as it takes until the game is over.
is it once per team? Then they go to the next map, or what?
No,
What's
they
going
switch sides after halftime.
Do they switch to Namek?
No, they haven't gotten that advanced
Because
yet.
the water will be
So-
irritated.
Oh, here comes the kicker.
So,
Did
depending on
did
who
the
gets the ball first,
Combo with
in
did the
the
planet explode? Did the planet explode?
the planet
No, that's not what it is. That's a touchdown. That's super stuff.
so let me get this right, okay? The match
touchdown.
starts. The match starts, right? And they flip a coin and they decide who's gonna get the ball first, right? And then the guy grabs the ball and throws it to the air, and whoever grabs it first,
And then
gets
he
to run
summons
for
the
it.
Paper Warrior
and then he
defense.
has to pass to his other teammates,
So,
but they have to score from 3 points
got
away.
Drac.
Got
I
this.
know you're
And
actually
then they switch
Drac.
the maps.
Drac.
Namek.
You are going to get
That
this.
sounds like a wonderful Dragon Ball Z sports game. Which I'm surprised hasn't been done before, to be honest.
to get.
I think we should become football commentators. What do you think?
Drac.
I don't
He
even.
made a birdie. He did a birdie. Woo!
That's the bogey.
Drac. To end the half, the Steelers kicker.
Eagles.
The Steelers kicker comes out and he's getting ready to kick it, and he's never done this before. He bounces the ball off of one of the goalposts onto the other goalpost and through the goalpost.
That's
Was
amazing.
that Phil's ultimate? The full power energy ball?
Was that an ace? Did he?
I'm done. I'm about to hang up this call.
Was that Phil's full power energy ball? That was off.
Okay, so
Hey, he
Guys.
fouled. He double dribbled.
Derp and Super Saiyans. So, G, you start.
Wait,
Oh,
no. Wait,
you're
let's actually start it correctly.
Derp at
Who's
Derp at.
playing against the Super Saiyans? That's gonna be a weird football match.
I'm so done with
People-
this.
Dragon Ball Warriors versus Super Saiyans in a football match. Super Saiyans can fly. Disadvantage, disqualified.
That's a good point. Are football players allowed to fly? Is that illegal? How much airtime has been recorded in the season for the Steelers?
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Are they allowed to pass it on the goalpost and it come back and they grab it and get a touchdown?
With a supernova.
With a
Every
super...
touchdown is a supernova.
If they get rid of the enemy side of the field, do they automatically win?
If you get a touchdown, if you get a touchdown, it's a supernova, and when you get a touchdown, the planet explodes, and then you win the game. That's how it works.
Obviously.
Or at least that's how my team plays it. I
All right,
don't know.
we got this, guys. All right, let's get serious.
And
Alright,
if you're
okay.
against the Doria, be scared. Be very
Crazy.
scared.
Time to be
Use
serious.
spiky pads.
To it.
Okay, we're done.
All right,
KO.
Kale was sorry. We just couldn't resist.
I'm not done.
No, we have to get.
Yeah,
get this
we seriously have to. I've only got like an hour and a half before, so
What are
like we spend
doing? This is
match
just a
discussions.
Oh, I thought this was just a casual.
No,
We're supposed to be doing match discussions, but Kale was watching a football game, so we
I'm
decided to screw
technically
with him.
still watching a football game.
it's okay. Kale, start us off. Record
Go,
it, start
go,
us
go,
off.
go, tackle.
Can I
Yes,
say
down.
something?
End of the half. We're starting now. Derp and Super Saiyans. G, go.
Wait, no. Welcome to the Wyckoff. Okay.
I wasn't there for that match, but I can
It's
safely
a
say
goal.
We're so professional.
I wasn't there for that match, but I think it went about as well as you would expect.
Agreed.
I Big
I
yards,
think
I've not
derp.
watched
Derp. I think it just derped. I can't.
Oh.
It wasn't that they got countered or anything. It wasn't that the other team was okay. The other team was way stronger than them, but touchdown. Super Saiyan. That's all I gotta say about that. There you go.
Okay. All seriousness. 19 was not what he should have been. I actually sort of missed it. I only saw the little bit of last stand. I came in a little late.
You're like half
But
a-
yeah, I came in. I just saw 19 getting wrecked, and I'm guessing he didn't really do much.
Nope, he died.
He should. Yeah, he should have been able to get a grab or two in against Mid Vegeta. He should have been a good counter with him, against him with that defense +3. Usually, what I find to be a really good counter to these quick charge characters without any like super pluses, but relying on their B2s is like a really
Midoriya.
heavy. Yeah, it's a really heavy defense build, which 19 had, but he just didn't do anything with it. So yeah, it's kind of just derped.
Derp living up to their name.
Yeah, basically.
All I know is that I didn't even watch the match. I just listened to it. From what I heard, it was Vegeta completely picking apart the first two members, and then Salza played well.
Can
Salza
I
took
say
down Mid
something?
Vegeta easily. Yes,
Can
go
I say
ahead.
something? I'm very glad to hear that Salsa did well, because to me, Salsa's always been one of my favorite members from Team Derp, purely because he has so much potential with his B2s and his melee.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a very well-rounded character, and he's got fast combos.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did around 40k or 40k plus, because
Yeah, exactly. You just need the right AI.
he took down Mid Vegeta, but Goku was on his defense +2 build, which kind of negated him a little bit, but it was more that
Every
Goku
time-
was super aggressive, and Goku would stay in his face and then use B2s in
Kamehameha.
yeah, Kamehameha and his ultimate as well, which it's supposed to be instant transmission, but when you see him use it, he teleports to the same spot he starts. So, that's useful. But anyway, like yeah, he pretty much just was a really well-rounded character in that fight. He was really melee aggressive, and then when his key got up to like 3 bars or so, he would start spamming, and it was real nice. It was a lot better than they kind of hoped, and you know,
Did he get a touchdown?
yes. And Goku was the MVP, scoring 29 points off of touchdowns.
I will say that early fight with Hercule against Vegeta was very entertaining because Hercule actually did way more damage than 19 did. So it was just funny seeing Hercule actually
That's
do
19,
bad.
19 did like a total of 5,000 damage. That's not saying much.
Hey.
Hercule did like 20, 30, so you know, it's still
We
pretty
did
good
it.
for Hercule.
Oh no, he did not. And mid Vegeta was like above his yellow bar.
Yeah, he was above it a little bit.
Hercule is the football commentator
Wait,
of the
wait.
matches.
How
Let's
much
admit.
damage did Hercule do?
Like 10.
Not much at all.
Like he literally came in and did 10?
Yeah, like 10, 20.
Can I
No.
just say, I would love to see Hercule go elite.
But, you know, he would have done more if Vegeta didn't block his ultimate.
Well, I mean, he
and
was kind of. Remember, Drac, he did save the world from the Death Star before, so.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's true.
Wait,
He was
when
really
did this
tired this
happen?
week. He fought the Death Star. He fought it, like, in a 1-to-1. So, you know, he was
Where,
really tired.
when?
Hercule fought the Death Star right before the match.
Are you sure that wasn't one of my stations? Because we lost one a little bit ago.
He traveled across the universe and time itself to a galaxy far, far away, in a time long, long ago. So
Yeah, we were still alive back then.
Alright,
That's
so
what happened to
who's,
Lord Chilled.
Kale, who was after that?
Oh,
after
ED
Rip
and Dragon Ball Warriors. We were in the first 2 matches this week instead of the last 2.
One of them sucks and can't fly. One of them sucks and can fly. But one of them has a member that's part of the Turles Foundation. Before I hear who wins, can I just say my prediction would have been Dragon Ball
Well,
Warriors.
guess what? You were wrong.
Yeah, fuck.
We completely. The first half of the match was pretty one-sided towards the Dragon Ball Warriors.
Wait, was Nam fighting?
Yes.
Yes.
Nom was fighting.
Was in.
Nam, why? That's
Hey,
it.
no.
we're cutting your pay.
Okay, I'm gonna explain the match to you. So the first half of the match was very even, and then Kid Goku. No, actually, it wasn't even. Kid Goku just pretty much wrecked Yamcha. And then
That's
Hands
all I need to
down.
hear.
and then Yamcha tagged. He brought it back towards even, and then Yamcha tagged. Chaozu came in, destroyed Kid Goku, did a really kind of mediocre fight against who was it? Nam. It was Nam. And it was pretty bad against Nam. And then Tien came in, and Nam and Tien went blow for blow, defense against offense. Just
Until Tien.
yeah, until Tien pulled it out with a couple of really well timed tri beams. And then
Nam.
let's see, and then Tien,
Tag.
yeah, he tagged again back to Chaozu. Chaozu took down what's his face. Who was the other guy? There was Pilaf. And who
Pilaf.
Really
else?
Goku, Pilaf came in.
Yeah, Pilaf came in and fought Chaozu. He killed Chaozu. Then
Krillin.
then Krillin came in. Krillin hit him with the Destructo Disc.
Tell me Krillin got destroyed, please.
No, Krillin did really
Krillin got killed by a Gatling gun.
good. Yeah, Krillin got killed by Pilaf. Yes,
Pilaf transformed. They were even basically. Pilaf transformed.
and then Krillin
I'm sorry,
almost outran the Gatling gun, but got hit.
I'm just
Yeah, he just
imagining in the anime Krillin getting just like decimated by a Gatling gun.
Yeah, but so no, Chaozu.
He's like, oh god.
Yeah, Chaozu didn't die. He tagged 2 Krillin. Krillin came in, fought Pilaf.
Pilaf.
After Pilaf transformed, Krillin
Chaozu.
died. Chaozu came in, wrecked Pilaf, and then
With melee.
yeah, with melee. And then who came in after Pilaf?
Late
Early
Goku.
Goku.
Early Goku.
Yeah, early Goku came in. Chaozu pretty much wrecked his entire face. And then
Tian came in and cleaned
Tien
up.
came in and just destroyed him.
Yeah, Tian cleaned up.
Tien definitely the MVP of that match. I am so happy that worked. Chaozu didn't do as much work as he did the past 2 weeks, but he still pulled off.
You know what was wrong with Nam?
What?
He didn't eat his fruit.
Did anyone tell him that fruit has water?
Although I will say that they didn't have Tao
We've
in.
tried, but he just couldn't understand it. He was like, but water's so rare. And we're like, no, it's inside the fruit. And he's like, no, that's sorcery.
Haven't you ever heard of a cactus?
He started
Right.
calling us a bunch of witches.
I don't
You
know,
he
but I just
started-
took a nice swig of water from my water bottle.
Did I tell you guys this story? The first time I did a test for the league was a NAM test. And I didn't realize it, but whilst I was doing it, that my first ever test was for NAM, and I was drinking a pint of water during it. And I only noticed after the test was done. And I was
Alright,
like, oh,
GM. We're talking about Earth Defenders and Dragon Ball Warriors.
Yeah, I figured with the whole "give me
Nah.
water" talk.
yeah.
Okay,
Anything you
so
want to add?
I will say right now though that I was really surprised that I figured they might have rotated out Tao, but it would have been a a closer match if Tao was in. Now,
I think
Tao-
so.
I
I think-
definitely have to agree.
I think, because Tao's really melee oriented, they were fighting Earth Defenders, which usually they have stronger melee, but like for characters like Chiaotzu, you can always out melee them, even though they're fast melee and strong melee.
Yep.
They have been out meleed before, can out melee them again.
I
I
feel
think so.
if their defenders
And I
were
think,
more melee oriented, like they usually are, then maybe the Dragon Balls would have.
I also think that Rush B2 from Tao would have helped out a lot.
yep, it would.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's about out mailing. It's about finding a character
No,
who's
it
willing
wasn't.
to dodge.
No, it's not about out mailing. It's about how to counter a counter.
Yeah,
and who...
exactly. Which is why we took our main reason for taking Goku out this week, and besides that we wanted to get his benches out of the way as soon as possible, is the fact that we were scared that since there were some DBW is so melee heavy, that we would be in trouble with a person that would only spam and need to charge a lot. So we put Goku on the bench this week.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. No, but I was gonna go on to the topic of how Chaozu can be out meleeed. It's not more about who's just straight up better at comboing or
If
who
you
has
got
the
a
faster
melee
melee. It's about
Sorry.
who's better at dodging and who's willing to block and set up
I
those
would
smash
like
attacks
to
and all
add
that
to
other
something
stuff.
that you're saying, Gion, if I could have permission.
Permission granted.
I agree completely. Chaozu doesn't dodge a lot, but it's his stuns that let him melee a lot.
He
If
uses
you get a
that.
character that has slight stun resistance, who dodges a little bit more, then yeah, you can definitely out melee Chaozu, but he is still a force to be reckoned with.
Yep.
I think like an instrumental part in his build is that exquisite skill. I don't think it played a part in his match this week, but
He only used it like
is-
twice, yeah.
Yeah, but it is very nice when he like chains a combo and then uses that B1 to stun them for such a long time. It works so well for him. It's
Yes.
very nice, and I think a lot of characters like Garlic Jr. use it very well as well, and I think they use it on Bobbity sometimes, but his melee is not as strong, so it's it's like,
Don't you
didn't
mean
want to.
Creepy?
Yes, Puipi. Sorry, I'm sorry, Puipi.
Yeah, not Babidi, Creepy.
Puipi.
I'm wondering why they don't use Powerbot on Pilaf anymore. He seemed like he was doing well when he had it, so
I
I
agree.
don't know why they switched
Actually,
off.
yeah.
His
He would
damage
be
was
able to
really
take a
high
lot more
the weeks he
punishment.
had them.
Well,
So-
okay. I'm gonna be checking at the same time, but I'm gonna take a guess that it was because
Other than
didn't-
it being expensive, it worked.
I'm gonna take a guess that it was because he didn't have the charge to back it up because it's 4 points.
Who are we talking about?
Yes.
Pilaf.
Pilaf.
Power
I'm
Bot.
wondering why they took Power Body off of Pilaf, because the weeks he did have it, he was doing high amounts of damage. He was doing really well in fights. and I'm wondering why they took it off of him and replaced it with like high tension. I can understand high tension. I can understand fighting spirit, all that for higher charge rate and for more B2 usage.
I
But
can understand that, but he doesn't.
he
charge
was
a
doing
lot
well
in
with power
game.
body.
There hasn't been a week he has had power body.
Hold up.
There hasn't. What about? I thought he did. I thought he had it early
Nope.
weeks.
Nope.
What?
Mm.
What happened? Oh my god, my memory. I'm sorry, guys. My memory.
It's been Tao, General Tao, which he uses it amazingly, who has it. But I understand the power of power body. Peel off. He's an android, always in your face. You can't beat him in melee if he has that power body, and his charge will eventually bring him up. He doesn't need the super +2 either. They could just give him super +1, and his charge should be good enough.
I got an off-season test mixed up. I'm so sorry. It was an off-season where he had power body and he destroyed, but now he didn't have it.
You're a
this season.
psychopath.
I'm crazy.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Nonetheless, like, I mean, they could still use it. It's still, like, a
He just wouldn't
powerful
throw as many
idea.
B2s. Yeah.
No, but he would be far better at being aggressive. I'm not
Yo,
sure.
I'm
He is a
back.
little bit more passive on Krillin AI, though.
What do
Yeah,
you
what-
mean, though, he didn't have power body? Because I'm pretty sure, like
Off-season,
Drac, that he had.
I just checked it. We just checked it. Even in the
He had-
preseason, he didn't have it, but in the off-season, they did test for it. And I'm mixing up those off-season tests where he fought characters like I
Skuldo.
can't remember.
Like,
Not Goldo,
Anyway, I
but-
was really impressed with Kid
Nobody fights Skuldo.
early lead. That
General Blue fights
super
Skuldo.
aggressive start was just fun to
Dude,
watch.
is General
And,
Blue allowed in the league?
He
Yes.
is, but
Yes.
like only on like Team
On
Derp,
Derp.
I think.
Yeah, he's only on Team Derp.
Have
I
they
believe.
ever had him on the team?
No.
No,
No.
he's too bad.
They needed.
I think he's available in Dragon Ball Warriors as well, though.
It'd be
Yeah,
like having
but Dragon Ball
supers.
Warriors are definitely gonna drop one of their characters for him.
Mhm.
Nope.
Let's drop
Bye,
Nam
Nam.
for him.
Yeah.
Dude, what other teams can Nom be on?
No one.
Earth
Oh,
Defenders. I mean, wait,
He's not
Kenny?
an Earth Defender.
Actually,
he
he
can-
might be somewhat viable on Derp.
I'm gonna go look that up. Where's the link to the thing that shows me?
Beats me.
Somewheres. It's somewheres. What's the next fight after this, guys?
It is Booze at Majin.
All right, we'll move on to that while Kale
Yeah,
is
I'm
looking
looking
at
at the thing
Basilis.
What's it?
Them tags.
Okay,
He might be allowed on Earth Defenders because he did give his energy to Goku when he fought Boo.
Yeah, but so did everybody.
True, but it still
Herc
works.
didn't. Hercule made everyone else do.
Hey, Herc can actually be on Earth Defenders. He did try to save the Earth fighting
And
self.
he is
And Boo.
technically, you know.
He tried. That's what matters.
who tried?
A Herc.
He's
He
on
can be
Team
on Earth
Defenders.
Remember,
Defenders.
he actually used this dynamic Mesma punch on Kid Buu.
Yeah.
Damn
And he
right.
beat
You're
Kid
all
Buu,
washed
remember that?
up!
And Cell. He defeated Cell and Kid Buu.
Damn
And
right.
has since then every year defeated Majin Buu in the tournament itself.
Oh my gosh, shut up. We're not talking about
What are
that.
you talking about, man? He's the
Hey
strongest.
guys, guess what?
It's the strongest.
Football's back on.
Yay!
Okay,
Is
we're not
Glory
getting
out
into
in the
this.
field?
Talk
Can we
about
not-
Majin Buu.
Yeah.
Boo's versus the other people.
Right. This was fun. This was like the best match. Well,
Such a good match.
One of
Yeah,
the best.
it was so close.
It was so
It
good,
was-
is what it was. This was like a
I
great,
know.
and the music was perfect. It was so
Yeah.
good.
The start was just amazing. Deborah and Kid Buu just going back and forth. Both of them really strong. Deborah's been getting stronger every season, and this season he's just a monster. Kid Buu, more like his usual self now. He was really strong in melee, was throwing those B2s in at correct times. It was a lot of dodging between the two of them, but it was still real close, and it was still really fun to watch with the B2s hitting back and forth. I don't know, it was just really fun.
I agree with that. I think it was
I'm
a
eating
really good
chicken.
match.
I can't.
Chicken. That's.
I don't know if anyone
I really enjoyed the start. I think right from the start, everyone knew it was going to be a good, even match. Like, you know, Oob versus Oob, you know.
I don't know if anyone really dropped the
Wasn't
ball.
in.
Bobbity and Majin Buu were probably the two. Bobbity was probably the worst on the Majins, and Majin Buu was the worst on the Boos. But even
Yes.
then, they were not bad. They were trying. Both of them were spamming. Both Majin Buu was like trying to track his Kamehamehas. It was awesome. You know. Oh, and then right. which this fight, Oob versus Majub.
I really
That
loved it when it finally came up. It was like a dream come true.
was like, wow, talk about an even match.
I know,
It
like
was just back and forth.
Yeah.
he'd get hit in, he'd do a B2, then he'd do a B2, then he'd get a combo, and it was the one's a transformation of the other, and yet they're so even. Shows that Team Boo really knows what they're doing, and how like at least they are trying to really work hard and strong and make their characters really strong, and their characters are strong. Characters really
Oh
are.
boy.
I really thought Maju would have the advantage here because they do have the exact same melee. If I'm not mistaken here.
I think Majub has slightly stronger, like by 10 points. Like it's like
I mean, like in speed wise.
Oh yeah, I think their speed and stuff is the
Or-
same.
Yeah, and like their animation style is the same. So Oob did have power body. I was thinking it's Majub with his spam, his 2 bar B2, and his key +2 to ensure that he can always get up to that 2 bars, even if he doesn't have that much time to charge. I thought he would have dominated it, but no. Oob was like in his face all the time.
Oob has been in
bad.
everybody's face ever since they
Yeah.
put him on that super
Ever since the
aggressive
beginning
build.
of time.
Mhm.
And I really think that it shows that both teams are trying really hard, and both teams are really working at making great builds, and that West Kai is the best Kai. There you go.
West got best guy.
South Kai is best Kai because Cold's in it at the moment.
Doesn't rhyme, doesn't count.
Are we done?
Don Wolf, have anything to add on the awesome fight?
I. I'll
Wait,
be
yours
honest,
didn't rhyme
I-
either. You just said Kai twice.
I'll be honest, I kind of came in a little late because I was getting some popcorn, but
Always a good reason to be late.
can you blame me? I mean, this was such a good fight. There,
It's like
You-
at school. Why are you
Yeah.
late, Popcorn?
yeah. The only thing I can say is congrats to the Boos for winning, but I hope that we can get on their heels by the end of next week.
All right,
Speaking
so
of
I think.
Speaking of impressive matches, next match, Namek versus Valkyries.
Namek
Holy-
versus
Alright.
Valkyries.
another sort of a surprise. Well, kind of. Everybody, well, not everybody. It was kind of split down the middle, but
Valkyries
you would
won,
think, no, Namek won.
wow.
It was very close. I think. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was down
It was
to
close.
like less than a like 1/16 of a health bar.
Yeah, it got real down there. I'm just gonna say I contribute this loss of the Valkyries to Fasha. Don't know what happened. She wasn't on her A game. She started charging using expanding energy wave like 2 times in a row. Wasn't aggressive at all. She was kind of dodgy, yes, but she wasn't her melee self. It was weird, and I don't know. I really think if she stepped up and was like the old Fasha she used to be, or even an adequate melee character, like just aggressive enough to stay in I believe it
If
was
she were
early
more
Piccolo's
like-
face, she could have done it.
Yeah, if she were a little more like Ginyu, then she would have won.
You saw Ginyu that week. You saw Ginyu this week. Oh man.
Damn, MVP of the year.
I think I don't know what's wrong with Fasha. Like, I don't know. Like, her build's the same. Everything's the same about her, but she's just not doing it this week. She didn't do it.
Can I just
Maybe it's
say-
because she's not starting. I don't know. Like, is it the position? Because she was
I
second. She's not used to that.
Don't think
I
that.
don't know.
I'm gonna contribute it to her AI. I know this is an AI they've always been using on her, but
A derpy derp. Remember?
it's go on AI, and I've heard a lot about this AI being very inconsistent and having
Mhm.
that
Yes.
sort of stigma following it
Everyone
around.
agrees with that.
Yeah, and I think
That
it's
is so
hitting
true.
Fasha for once.
Finally, it's like Fasha was the only, except for Fasha, but now it's finally coming back on her. Like, oh, there
Yeah,
we go.
because we had go on AI on Raditz in our off season, and it was amazing. It was Fasha levels, and then like a week later, we kept testing it, and boom, it just crapped out.
Yeah,
It's
that's
either
one of
the AI, or I think maybe it's just overdue for a build change.
I think it's the AI because it crapped out exactly the same way Rads did. It stayed back, became super passive, charged and then used B2s without ever setting them up, and then just didn't do anything.
So
Exact same like way of fighting, which wasn't really even fighting.
and because it's an inconsistent AI, next week it could be going back to normal or it could stay the same. You can't tell because it's so all over the place.
It's consistently inconsistent.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, so
Just for Foster, she's been lucking out and flipping the coin,
Yeah.
getting heads, not tails.
Yeah, I'm gonna just suggest this to the Valkyries. Find, I mean, it might not be the fascia we're used to seeing, but find a consistent AI. It's not worth having this inconsistency about you have a strong team, you
Go
have
with
Android
Genji
18,
AI.
you have a Rayleigh. Fascia can be good even if she's not amazing. Say a woman's is doing really well. Her spammy self is great. Pan is getting up there. Power Body is really helping her out. You don't need Fascia to have really good times and hope she wins some matches and then other times just completely loses it for you. Just get her consistent.
I will say that the Valves, in the computer itself, when the Valves switched up the tags, because it was supposed to be Fasha versus early Goku.
Early Piccolo.
And early Piccolo. Oh my god, it's Goku. He's green. He just, his Halloween.
Oh my gosh.
He's a Yoshi now.
He's a Yoshi.
Oh god, what did Super Kami Guru do to him?
Early Piccolo had Power Body, so if Fasha went up against that, it'd be kind of like how Nam did when Nam fought with Power Body against Fasha. I think she would have been really hard.
She did fight
even
him.
if she did. She did. That's what I'm saying. But like, it wasn't straight the first match because when early Piccolo came out, he fought against Seiya Man 2.
Oh.
Right when she came out. So early Poke, yeah, Seiya Woman, Seiya Man 2.
Yes.
Early Piccolo came out and fought that for like forever.
Wow.
And so like he was really hurt by just being B2'd, of course, by Seiya Woman.
True.
So I think if things would have worked out like the Namix thought would have happened, it would have even be worse for Foster because not only would she have been passive,
But she would have been going up against the Power Body.
counter. Yeah, perfect counter.
Right.
I think I know what happened to Goku. I think Kami had another accident. It just landed on him. All the way from Kami's lookout. Goku's just flying along. What's that?
Exactly.
Oh, look, the sky's getting dark.
Oh, no!
Splat.
Okay. Can I
Oh
just
look,
mention?
it's raining.
Sure, go.
Chocolate rain?
Just look at the Namex builds, the Namex lineup. Compare them to last week's lineup. Look at them. There is no difference. Nothing.
Who's
The only
lineup?
difference is the sub. That's it. They literally
Namex.
switched out the sub for one of their characters. Boom, nothing else changed.
And there was still a B2er, King Piccolo for
Yeah.
Tambourine, which are both on
It is-
B2s.
Now, in
The
all
fact.
fairness,
I'm
the
gonna be
fact-
honest. Sorry.
Sorry, if I may be completely honest, I have to agree with the Namek's choice here, simply because they knew that because this went so well against the androids, it was much more likely to win them something against the Valkyries, especially since the Valkyries are just as much of a threat as the androids, if not even more so.
I think it's lazy. I think they were like, oh, it worked, I'm gonna do it again. And I think the Valkyries overthought it or they didn't think it enough. They didn't counter what I think the Valkyries, I don't know how they work. They either didn't bother to counter enough, because it's not hard to counter Team Namek. It's right there. It's the same build as last week. Copy and paste, work against it. They either didn't counter or tried to think that Namek would counter them, and it just got jumbled up, and they got Fascia in the worst place possible.
Yep.
It shouldn't have been like that. They should have had Android 18 going out second. They should have had Fascia last. That would have saved them. But, well, yeah, it would have saved them if Fascia also played. But still, I think either Valkyries overthought it, or they didn't try to counter. I don't know which one it is. But
I,
Namek, that is not. I doubt that is them like being very smart about it. I think that's just them thinking, "Oh yes, it worked. I'm gonna do it again," and just not bothering trying to counter or do anything. And they just got lucky.
I agree they got lucky this week by doing that, but on another note, I think a lot of people give the Nomics a lot of shit, like, oh, they didn't test in the off season. They shouldn't be, they have all these like, because like I hear that all over the place. And I really think if you look at the builds and stuff, they have been
Hmm.
trying new builds on different people, and they've been trying all the new, like they've been trying power buy and everything. They've been trying new things, trying.
Mm,
Um,
that's
just they
okay.
didn't do it in the off season, and a
They
lot of people give them shit for that.
tried. Okay, basically what they did is they did like three tests max, and
Yeah,
then
in
they
the off
slapped.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then they slapped on. Tambourine has a new build, Early Piccolo has a new build, and Nail has a somewhat new build.
Personally, I'm not
Everyone else's builds are like, sorry, Fraser. Everyone else's builds are somewhat the same. King Piccolo's isn't too different, and I think it's a little bit worse to be honest. And Late Piccolo's is pretty much a copy and paste from last season. I mean, that's fine. They changed a couple characters, and I don't mind their characters staying the same, but it's just really odd builds. Nail's build is fine. Late Piccolo's, I guess, is still fine. It works. King Piccolo's Unleashed Key is not Patara that's really reliable, and you shouldn't always have on. There's much better Pataras for that. He doesn't have a reason to use Exquisite Skill. He doesn't use that Kakusen very well or very much. I don't. And again, same thing with the Dragon Spirit and Kabuya Secret Art. I think they're investing too much in that for him.
I,
Early
I
pick,
sorry, keep going.
early Piccolo Power Rage. It wasn't a bad idea here. This week it was a good idea. They have people who Power Rage can help counter,
Yes,
but they shouldn't always use it. It's a situational
situational.
Patara. Patara. Like we put Dragon Power on Raditz this week because we felt it was gonna either face Garlic or Master Roshi, and both of them are really clash heavy. That's why we put Dragon Power.
Which is
That's why we
smart.
give him
Yeah,
Power Rage. Yeah, we don't always do it because it's just oh they clash. No, we do it because the opponent clashes, and it's best that way.
I think the Namekians find something that worked like once or twice, and they keep it on. But like if you look at Tambourine from week one, when something wouldn't work, they'd always change something a little bit. They'd always tried something a little bit different each week, because Tambourine wasn't doing what they wanted, I guess. And then they finally came up with the build they've been using since week two, week three, which is Tambourine, Super Plus One, Launch Support, Savior, Power of Rage, Active Heart, all that jazz. So like they finally
personally,
found something they liked about them. But I think they always do this. Like they always find something they like about a character, and they'll keep it the same when they like it. And no matter what they're fighting, which I think silly,
Yeah.
I think you should be situational, but it's working for them, so I can't really complain. It's kind of working for them, so I can't
I mean,
complain.
you want to have
from
eternal life all the time, fine. I mean, it's a Batara that's always useful. You want to have Savior on the same character all the time. Yeah, I mean, it's not situational Patara. Power of Rage is definitely a situational Patara. Don't always have it on the same character.
personally, I just find it slightly strange that they didn't test, but I would have liked to have seen them test more. I would have liked to have seen them experiment in the off season a lot more with their characters, mainly Tambourine,
Huh?
to see what if just see them trying out new things, and
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
how they work. It's just
I,
it's kind of a sense of I don't know.
I absolutely agree with you, Frazier. Tambourine is just. He's not what he was last season. He was too easily countered near the end of the last season, and I know they're trying to change it, and I really like what they're doing, trying to go for a more B2 build, because he was very good at getting up close and using those B2s.
Samusen?
So they're, yeah, the Samusan.
Yeah.
And his Mouth Blast, he wasn't so bad with that either, and his ultimate, really. He was
Yeah,
good with all B2s.
even though he rarely used his mouth blast.
Yeah. I mean, I get their idea. I get where they're going with this, and I know that they like Active Heart, and they think it's working. But to be honest, Tambourine is just not at that level that he really can and should be. I think they need to test a few more things on him. Don't make big changes, obviously, but try different things. Maybe change the blue Batara to an attack Batara, switch the build around a little bit. You do it with all characters, or maybe change it to a key plus Batara. See if he's better as a spammer than a super.
Exactly, and that's what I'd like to see the Namex do during the off season, rather than
Mhm.
waiting until the season officially starts and then trying out some new things, because that's a risky move on their part.
Yeah.
It is risky, but you know, I just think people give them a lot of shit because it's kind of working for them, and you know,
I'm
there's things I don't
absolutely.
like about every team that they do, but that's my opinion.
I
And
agree. I just feel I want to see them try more things.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It would be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they would. Yes. That
Yeah.
if they dare to experiment, I would be happy. I wouldn't complain anymore.
all right,
Any
next the best.
Nope, no,
fight.
no, 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 no. Pause, pause,
No, we're going.
No.
We're talking
pause. I finally
Okay.
found the list. So shut your mouth. It took me 3
Here's
matches.
the list.
Took me 3 matches, but I found the list. Nom is not viable for Earth Defenders.
Yeah, because he didn't actually defend the Earth.
You shut your mouth.
Ha!
There should be a team.
He defended the village. That's part of her.
Yeah, no.
No.
We should form 2 new teams.
Raditz defended his pod,
Or
which
the
was on
leftovers.
top of the Earth's surface, technically protecting the Earth. He could be on Earth Defenders.
Okay.
No.
We would have to make 4 new teams.
Shut your mouth. I realized it was a bad idea as soon as I said it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Next match: Ginyu versus Blades. Thank you, Don Wolf. Thank you so much.
Oh, believe me, the pleasure was all mine.
I don't have anything against Blades personally, but I do want to have the best chance at staying at the top of Weskai, the Saints staying at the top of Weskai, and I also like seeing Ginyu win. I mean, who doesn't? Everyone loves Ginyu.
Yeah. Honestly,
Everybody loves
I
Ginyu. That should be a new show.
I wasn't thinking so much. Okay, the Saiyans are going to stay at the top. I was more so thinking, we need wins.
Oh yeah, I know.
We definitely needed that.
No. You were definitely thinking about the Saints, man. You're just such good friends. No, but yeah. You guys, that Raccoon build. I like that Raccoon build.
What about the
Pure
Ginyu Force
defense.
being friendly with Super Saiyans?
No, with the Saiyans. Nothing. It's nothing.
With the
It's
Saiyans, it's,
nothing.
there
That
might be a
defense build.
might be getting less pay.
Right. That Raccoon
Fraser.
defense build.
Yeah.
Can I?
Mwah.
It's something that Squee pointed out that is just amazing. Tapion, like when he attacked Raccoon with melee, he did so little damage you didn't even see the health bar move. That's
Yeah.
how much defense he had when he was on 1 bar health left.
Well, you
That
have
is
to
amazing.
remember, Raccoon has a passive defense of +10, which is like
Oh,
the
yes.
highest passive defense in the entire game. Then on
Yes.
top of that, you add all this other defense. He gets up to like what, 28, 29%? Like
And then
it's
take into
amazing.
account his
I
damage
think
from
it's somewhere in the
scraps.
40s when you have him on his last bar.
Yeah, like with latent energy and stuff, his percentage for defense goes through the roof.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, he already has a great grab, which does a huge amount of damage. You put Master Throw on that, he has all the damage potential he needs.
Then it's just a matter of finding the right AI.
And I'm so glad they put a healing Bator on him. It looks amazing. It's an amazing build. It worked excellent.
Mhm.
So
All I want to
so you
suggest
gotta
is
switch back.
no. all I want to suggest is maybe like steer a little bit away from him going melee and more into him going spam. I like the defense, but like he seems to be he has good B2s. That mouth beam's great. He has a surprisingly good volley attack which lasts a long time and he throws out a lot of them, which means he will knock the opponent down at some point. And his ultimate's a giant explosive wave, which is always good in my opinion.
Definitely.
and he does like to use his explosive wave. Usually when he has his max power mode, he'll use. He used it this week. He uses it at least once per fight if he gets max power mode off for a long enough time. he'll always like to throw that out. It's an amazing ultimate. Just the thing is, destroys planets. No, not so good. But I think Raccoon just did excellent this week.
He did.
I think it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'm just gonna say, like, if you are gonna like go for this spam thing, just try like fighting spirit or launcher support and nothing else. Like no other spam Bataras on him. Just to, like make sure you still have that like buffer of defense, so you're like not going so extreme.
Yeah, I
That's like
definitely have to agree. The funny thing was, the main reason why we had him on his defense build this week was because we were expecting Janemba first, to try and counter our power body, since we've always had the tendency to have power body on either the first or second character. And we decided to steer away from power body this week simply because of Janemba, and we didn't want to risk
Even if you weren't up against Janemba, personally, I think that was a good move.
yeah, it really is that the defense build is just it seems to work very well for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it gives him leeway to do what he wants because the defense is just sort of a buffer, and since he can last so long, he could dish out the damage while receiving it at the same time. Now, there is something unique I noticed about Janemba, and I'm trying to find the Patara and what it does because I am there. It is.
Which one?
Oh.
Battle control?
Yes,
Battle control just makes your
switch gauge
Yeah.
recovers more quickly.
and what people
Interesting.
what people really like. I don't like that Batar personally because even though it increases your switch rate faster,
It doesn't mean it's going
increase
to switch.
how much you're gonna
Yeah.
actually switch.
It doesn't increase the percentage to switch. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, it doesn't change the percentage at all. In theory, it should, but it doesn't. So
No, because
the
here's
hypothesis is wrong.
So you
here's
can
what
sit for a little
people
match and just
expect.
ignore it.
Here's what people expect when they create a build. I am going to create a spam build, ergo this character is gonna start spamming. No, that's not how it works. You have an AI. The character reacts this way. He is a melee character on this AI with no Pataras. I place spam Pataras on him. He's still a melee character. He still acts the same. He might use more B2s because he can charge up more, and his key stays up more, and he might look like he's using B2s more, but overall, he's still focused more on melee. We did something like that with Scouter Vegeta on default AI, thinking, yeah, he could be a spammer, but the melee overall just still focused on melee.
Just that one time he derped and got horribly
Yeah,
massacred.
It reminds me a lot about the GT Goku situation. Where the Rugrats once tried to make GT Goku a spammer, but his melee was so good that, it basically put into question why do that in the first place.
Was that recent? If it was recent, I
no,
think
that
I
was
might
last
have
season.
did.
I think it was that recent.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was last season.
It was last
I might
season
have
when he was
done
6
that test, and I personally remember thinking that it worked.
It did, but not as well as his usual attack one.
Because he's still winning for melee and everything. So
Yeah.
it was like.
But basically, what I'm getting at is the AI will always act similarly, and it'll still have like the same objective, and it'll still act the same way. The Pataras won't change its goal or the way it acts. It'll just give it the boost. So if it's charging, if it's an AI that likes to charge sometimes, and you switch it to a Patara and give it Pataras which likes to charge, it'll just charge quicker. That's it. It may look like it'll spam more because it gets to that charge quicker, but it's still focusing on melee. It's a little weird to explain, but you gotta understand in order to create a new build that's like you want to go from melee to spam, you gotta change the AI most likely, or unless the AI is just really well balanced.
Yeah. If the AI is
You
already
are.
spamming sometimes and then doing some melee, it's kind of evened out. Then by, making the key
Don't
charge
give him
better or
Ginyu
something
AI.
Yeah,
will
like
make him do more B2s.
yeah, like Birder's a good example. Default AI
Birder's
usually on most character, especially on Birder, he likes to do both, but he's more melee and he just throws in the B2s. It looks like, oh, I give him a spam, kill spam. No, he just does it regularly in between his melee. It doesn't make him spam more. Sorry
And
about
talking
the
about Birder,
long-winded. Yeah.
Birder did really well this week, I think. You know, he went up against Janemba, and it was a very even fight. I think he did really well.
Surprisingly, Janemba was on a spam build instead of a super build.
Let's see, but he did like a lot of melee. He did do B2s.
Yeah, it was weird.
But I saw a lot of melees hit. Maybe it's because Birder is just so good at dodging because he's the fastest in the universe.
Oh, Janemba was actually on a spam build last week as well. I guess that's why they have him.
I wanted to bring this
that
up.
now.
Who's faster, Kid Buu or Burter?
Birder.
Birder.
That's easy. It's easy.
Further.
He's the
It's
fastest
like saying,
in the
what's 1
universe.
plus 1? 2.
No, it's fish.
Oh
Jace,
no,
I think
it's actually
Jace.
Goldo.
I thought it was over
No, he's the
9,000.
fastest. He can
No,
freeze time.
yeah.
1 plus 1
But-
over 9,000.
I distinctly remember that Team 4-star sketch where Berta got so offended at being compared to Goldo.
He was like,
Not
but
fucking slower than Goldo.
it's impossible. Jace, I think, did the best this week. He basically took out 2 people. He took out 1.5, and then Birder took out 1.5. So
Am I correct in saying there's almost nothing different about Jace? Or is this the first time he's had Kabito's secret art in a while?
no, we tried out launch support for a few weeks because that's what the original testing did. And he did exactly what he was doing before with Kabitos, but this is like what he did week 1 with Kabitos. Like, for some reason, he likes to every so often be like, I'm gonna use my Kabitos this week!
Yeah.
I
But
love
then,
it, though.
Like, 3 or 4 weeks pass, and he's like, in these 3 or 4 weeks, he's like, I'm not gonna use Kabitos at all. I'm not gonna do one post. I don't want to do any post 4 weeks straight. I'm not gonna do a post. Then you're like, okay, we'll switch it a little bit. Then we put it back on. He's like, I'm gonna use Kabitos.
So basically, the AI is just really inconsistent about it.
He's a jerk. The AI is a
Yeah.
jerk. It's not consistent. He's just a jerk.
Whereas
No,
Fraser AI, that's
Yeah,
not a
it's
jerk.
Frieza AI, so come on.
Yeah, here's the thing about Jace, though. He's a very good spammer. I mean, you just
That's
saw
an
it. He
He's
is
a baseball
probably-
player.
Oh, he's a good
Yeah.
spammer. He's a good spammer.
Yeah.
Oh, understatement of
He
the
actually
century.
is a baseball player. He used to run in the junior leagues during the
He's
Frieza
from
Empire.
Space Australia.
He was the thrower, the pitcher too. He pitched that shit.
No,
Yeah,
but seriously,
it's
that
not his
is
fault, it's
true.
Chris
So
Paul.
that does contribute to spammage.
Am I wrong in saying that his Crusher Ball is 2 bars?
It's 3 bars. His laser's 2 bars.
So he
Still,
ha-
a 2-bar laser is
Yes.
it's
That's
a
right.
2-bar laser.
Just like Birder has a 2-bar rush. You know, that's why.
Yeah.
Rushes are a bit more common to be 2 bars, but the laser.
I know he's good. Jason's
Yeah.
good.
Damn right.
He also
That
has
is just
also plays
amazing.
B1, which can really help in a pinch, and the thing that I love about the Ginyu Force is that we all have this gimmick about being able to go max power.
Yeah, that's nice.
Amazing. And our poses are sexy. You know, Ginyu Force poses,
Damn
the
right.
sexiest in the league. Come on.
Obviously, Goldo being the sexiest.
Did you
Oh,
guys see Golda this
sex.
week? Saw that sweep hype? You saw that sweep? That was good. It's good.
110% Goldo.
He was so good he never even made it to hell.
Yeah, it was so good.
He ascended hell.
He's
Felt like
just
Ginyu.
such a good guy.
Right.
I am disappointed that Ginyu didn't get to hit the field.
Yeah.
It sounds like a should, like, yeah, you guys kicked ass, but I wanted to see Ginyu kick ass too. He didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Can I just say? Sorry.
Okay,
go ahead.
No, you first.
Okay. Ginyu, I think he has that potential to be a really strong melee character. I remember seeing the off-season testing with him. I even remember him facing Raditz and Turles and him just being either straight on par and like winning each fight by like a bar. He was so tough to beat. He was so dodgy and he hit so hard.
Well, that's the thing about the off season. Like, a lot of these off season tests come into the league and they're not the same and it's disappointing not to see the character you thought would be dodging and melee oriented not do that. But
Yeah, I know. It's
Now,
a
to
little
be fair,
disappointing.
yeah, to be fair, at the start of the season, what we thought was a better AI, it didn't turn out so well. So we
exactly.
went back to his older AI that actually did all of that.
Yeah.
And
Wait, what was the AI you started with?
We started with Default because in the off season, Default was proving to be a lot stronger with melee, a lot stronger with dodging, but it didn't do it. It came into the main season and it just would spam his B1 all of a sudden and not go in for melee, which is the exact opposite of what we wanted.
Yep.
Because it's the
Yeah,
opposite of the tests. And so,
I remember the off-season test with Trunks AI. That's what surprised me. That was the AI that was like, "You got something
yeah,
here. You got a strong melee character."
yeah, and we decided to go back for Trunks AI, and we have not regretted that decision.
yeah, he started doing his melee again. He started going back. He's still not 100% what he was in the off season,
But the
but
fact
he's
that he
getting
went
there.
against some of the higher end competition in the league, like you know, Kid Buu wasn't that bad. People like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just say, for all the negative talk of Kid Buu not being as good as he was, let's just mention Kid Buu not being as good as he was is still better than most of the characters in the UZ League.
Yes.
It's still Kid Buu.
Yeah, he is by default one of the stronger characters in the game. So just being able to go toe to toe with him and even have a bar advantage at one point, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, he.
that is good.
Yeah.
I,
So
I'm so,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I heard like a Skype like sound, and now I'm like, where is it? I can't find it. It's killing me.
How do
Uh,
you think I feel? I heard it
One of you
too.
bastards are screwing with me. Okay, I'm sorry.
so, uh,
I
anything, let's look on the Blade side. Let's see what the Blades did this week. Yajirobe went back to his defense build. That's good. I like
I
Yajirobe
like
in his
it.
defense. It's the same build he
Yeah.
had last week, and I think the week before that.
Yep.
But I always liked Yajirobe on that build. It was just sad that he fought the B2ers of the group.
Yeah.
He went up against both our heavy B2er guys. Jason.
what do you
Burter.
mean our?
Oh, your. Sorry, I get confused. I'm confused.
Can I just say, I still think Unleashed Key is like just not worth it, in my opinion. I think
I
it can be
see
used for
Unleash
better.
Key. I always see Unleash Key when we did the testing in the off season. I saw that Unleash Key did not increase that much for like high speed clashes, but increased
Yeah.
for beams. So like if we put
Hmm.
Unleash Key on like Jace, he'd still win and lose the same high speed clashes if he didn't have it. But when he got into beam clashes, he always won them. So I see it like it. I think maybe it lies, and it just does it for beam clashes. I'm just gonna say it like that. I think it lies, and it only increases beam clashes. It doesn't increase high speed rushes. I'm going there. I'm going all the way.
Yeah. I definitely have to agree with Strack here. That's basically what we saw in the off season during our tests. But going back to the blades here, I definitely see they're doing something a little bit different with putting Cyborg Tau first. I honestly would have expected them to have tried maybe Janemba or maybe even Trunks first, but they rotated out Trunks.
Yeah.
Which surprised
Um,
me. I thought Trunks was one of their stronger characters. I guess not. This season, he hasn't really been proving to be that strong, but in the off season, he was proving to be pretty damn strong. So it's shocking.
He's pretty consistent, which is nice,
Yeah,
though.
he's
I
consistent.
mean, yeah, and like the stats might not show it. He might not be being characters, but he is definitely a benefit to the team. And his stats aren't always, they don't always show the correct how the character actually is and how strong the character actually is. And I think Sword Trunks is much stronger than the stats show. He is very aggressive and he's really well rounded and it's very nice. And he can work on attack build. He's one of those characters that you can actually put on more than just two types of builds. He's very flexible. Just one more thing. Back to Yajirobe. Unleash Key. I think it could have been replaced with Latent Energy. Would have helped a little bit more. Get into that defense +3 is always nice, in my personal opinion.
I definitely have to agree, especially after seeing what such a defense build can do against someone like Cyborg Tau, for example. I definitely have to agree with that.
Yeah, Cyborg Tao's B2s were like, because of Rukum, they were nullified from like 7.5k to like 5k damage. It was amazing.
See, I'm just
Uh,
surprised they kept Yajirobe in because we were gonna send our strongest team. At least I'd hoped they would think we're gonna send our strongest team. Like we're not gonna send Goldo against divisional
I
match. That'd be silly. But
I
like
don't know why they didn't.
our strongest team is B2 heavy. Like it has Jace, it has Birder. Even though we just talked about Birder being melee, and how he does B2s. We talked about
He's
Jace being
well-rounded.
B2er. Yeah, like our real strongest team does a lot of B2s. I'm surprised they had Yajirobe on a defense build. Our Yajirobe in there at all, not Trunks, who does B2s. They can get into clashes, all that. So I was surprised by that. I suspected Junim in the first. Like when the Rugrats and I were talking, we're like, if they did get into that, I think Janemba would be first. And like that was agreed. Like yeah, so like that's always what everyone suspects. Like Janemba should be. He goes against power bodies. He counters. And we said, Ginyu, they're probably gonna throw something out there, and maybe get countered, maybe not. We didn't know what they were gonna do with the Ginyu Force. We knew the Blaze were. We thought the Blaze were gonna put Janemba up, and we thought they were gonna have Trunks, not Yajirobe. And I think, truly, Trunks would have been a stronger choice than Yajirobe.
Yeah, Yajirobe is still probably one of their weaker characters, if not the weakest.
And a defense build
Really,
doesn't help.
it doesn't matter how weak you think your opponent is. If it's a divisional match, you should probably always put your A game or very close to it, in my opinion. Because, I mean, it is a divisional match. It matters a lot more than any other matches.
I definitely
Alright.
have to agree.
Yep. All right, on to the next match.
Rugrats!
Another very quick match like the Super Saiyans at Derp. Not as quick, but definitely about as one-sided as that match. Something, there was a couple things Dimension cannot be here for this,
No.
unfortunately, but there was a couple things he wanted to mention.
I'm here. I can word them out easily.
Go ahead, Drac. It's all yours. You're part of
Alright,
the Rugrats now.
The Rugrats, we really, really thought, like, we didn't get it 100% correct, but we went for such a strong count. We said, you know what, we haven't seen Cooler out for a while. Cooler has to be in this week. They're going to put Cooler out first. Like, we were like, that has to be it. There's no other way. And then after that, we suspected King Cold would be third. We're like, if anything, King Cold has always proven to be third, and they stayed consistent to that. If King Cold is not first, he's third. And so so it's either King Cold third and Cooler first, or King Cold first and Cooler third. So what would be a strong counter against that? So from there on, we said GT Goku would go well against either one, because they both, even though they're both kind of strong melee-layers, Cooler and King Cold, and they're both kind of defensive, Cooler's all about B2s. So if it's King Cold, we think GT Goku could just, fight King Cold to be even match. But if it was Cooler, we suspected, Cooler, he's B2, even though he's melee build, he's B2 heavy. He likes to shoot his B2s, and we thought he'd be on his B2 build, to be honest, We're like, he's got to be on his B2 build. We didn't think he'd be on Power Body, but even with Power Body, we thought GT Goku would go well against Cooler, because Cooler's very B2 heavy, blah, blah, blah. After that, we thought it'd be Final Form, which is, Super plus spam your ultimate. And instead they had Mecha, which is Super plus spam your ultimate, so it didn't change the strategy at all. Third, we thought it had to be King Cold if Cooler was first, so obviously King Cold was third. And so we said, let's throw out someone who we think can go really well and strong against that. And let's throw out someone really powerful that can counter that. Kid Trunks, probably one of our strongest members.
Right.
And then from then on, the last person said had to be Mecha Frieza, but it was Final Form. It didn't change it that much.
Yeah, it was over by that time.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask Frazier, though, if Frazier is still here. Yes, no, maybe, no, he's not.
Doesn't seem like it.
Well, I was going to ask what was going on with Final Form Cooler. His AI has been changing basically every week between, it seems, Gohan, Tien, and now Trunks. I understand the idea of making him a melee character for Power Body, but find the AI and stick with it. Don't flip it around like
Don't
this.
tell Cooler what to do,
Yeah.
you filthy
Yeah,
stinking monkey.
I have to. This is the same mistake that I and a lot of the Gaming Force almost made this season. Well, almost made consistently, I should say. In that we almost decided to just keep switching up AIs and such, but we listened to reason and avoided doing something like that.
Cooler has been the most inconsistent because of it.
True.
Yeah,
Um,
I can understand if like they don't like his.
Wow.
I didn't get to watch the match last week, so I'm sorry. I don't even remember it. But if he has really been a problem child and Trunks AI was showing to be good in tests, then I guess it's just unfortunate because he was super spammy.
I
He
think
was
last
all
week,
about that death beam.
last week
You're
Cooler
tired.
fought Tapion, and Tapion destroyed Cooler with like good melee and B2s.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of even because they kept using B2s back and forth. But I'm pretty sure Tapion won way
Oh,
over,
he did. But
like 2 bars.
going off of what G said, everybody on their team was spamming death beams, and it just wasn't working for them.
How can you kill GT Goku? He still
How can
has
you
to
kill
give...
that which doesn't even exist?
Exactly. He's not canon. He's not really there.
Head cannon.
They're shooting at air. Come on, guys. They lost to air. That's a good point, Don Wolf. They did lose to air.
To
Can I
air
just say-
is human.
I think it's ironic how Goten was beating Cold, basically spamming ultimates.
Goten annihilated Cold. Let's be honest.
No, it's just hilarious and ironic in the form they did.
He was one
ultimates.
B2 away from Elite.
Pretty
I
much.
truly think he was like 5,000 points away. I agree with all of that.
No,
He's
no.
like so close.
No, he was at 90k.
Oh, damn.
So-
1 bar.
1 bar away.
To
King
air
Cold,
is
you should have
human.
stayed alive longer.
If you guys would have had healing on him this week, he would have.
Ah, damn.
I'm really trying to think of a good analogy here.
I
Don,
still think it's hilarious. It's like
Don,
you-
the poet.
I still think it's funny. It's like
Roses are
Goten's
red.
like, oh, so you guys like using ultimates, eh?
No.
I've got one.
Hey, oi, Don.
Freaking 4 in a row. That
Don, I got a poem for you.
Go ahead.
Jice is
Oh.
red, Birder is blue, Ginyu is purple, Guldo kills you.
Yay!
The end.
someone give this man an award.
Raccoon wrote that, so it's a group effort.
Oh, do I
Raccoon
need to do
runs
it? Do I
one
need to do it in Raccoon's voice?
Yes.
I'll do that later. I'll do that at the end.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And like we even thought we thought it was going to be a way closer match. We didn't think we'd destroy them this hard, but we did think we'd win at least the first 2 fights, and I'm
Which,
glad we did.
You won the first 2 fights, and those 2 fights lasted their 4 characters.
Like we even like we're talking like, okay, if Cell Jr. did have to come in, and he fought like Mecha Frieza, how would he be strongest to help him out? And that's why
I guess
Cell Jr. was on a Dragon Spirit defensive build, so he'd use his After Image. I think I think he has After Image.
Now,
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Dimension talked to me, and basically the only worry he seemed to have, or like the only big worry, was Cell Jr. having to go last because he knew it was gonna face Mecha Frieza, or he was
Yeah.
fairly certain.
Exactly.
And I mean, I guess that wasn't even a worry.
Goten just
I mean-
does what he does. He's
Yeah.
Hey guys, I swear I
Stam-
just saw a birder on this screen because this dude just took off.
ah, ah! Don Wolf's just evil. Love it. All right. That's all the matches this week.
No, it's not. What?
There was no other matches that matter.
What about justice?
You're
Oh
right.
yeah, I forgot about justice.
Let's talk about Justice versus the androids.
We don't need to. Justice prevails. as always.
Justice always wins. Let's look at the builds.
Is
and
Justice
whatnot.
on a 4-game win streak right now?
I think so.
Not bad.
Well, it's Justice. Of course, it's winning.
Justice.
Okay, let's look at what the androids did. I'm gonna start with them. Okay, androids. Androids had Cell come out,
Oh,
and he was on his defensive build.
I'm sad.
Have they been using Cell on defensive build? They have, I guess. I haven't been paying attention to androids. I've been just crying over them. So.
I'm crying right now.
Cell was on his defensive build as usual. 17 was on a B2 build. Jiro was on a melee-ish build. What's up?
I'm sorry. I haven't been to the forums in a long time, so when I looked at Havoc's signature, I saw a Department of Justice, and it was just Sandman's head there.
Yeah. Isn't it great?
It's the best thing.
It's fantastic.
So how do you guys want to start this?
Gohan's an android?
Gohans and androids.
Nutshot, but
Double Justice Nutshot.
but Cell had a cup, so it was
Seriously, if you watch it, they do
That's
aim
why
for
he
it.
had to use his ultimate.
yeah. He actually did hit the ultimate this time, so he got the ultimate nutshot off.
Justice.
That
Justice twin kick.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking though. It does look like they aim for the nuts.
they do.
Hello.
Are we gonna talk about how Ultimate Gohan did ultimate stuff?
No.
Yes. The two top players, which I think the Havoc's really.
Hello.
Havoc.
You're here. Hello.
We were just talking about your signature.
Oh, thank you.
Havoc, would you like to talk about your team this week?
They did very well.
They did. There you go.
Justice.
See, this is the true
With
leader
your-
of justice here. He doesn't say how awesome his team is. He just says the truth.
We did good.
Would you like to elaborate on your decisions and how you feel about Ultimate Gohan
Well,
and
I
Team
actually
Gohan
thought
doing
they
so
were going to
great?
start with Jiro, so I put Sandman in.
Okay.
That was it.
With the exception of
He
bench.
didn't think any farther.
Well, he's justice. I'm sorry, Havoc. I couldn't. I had to make the joke.
That's alright.
The champion of justice, everyone.
I gotta say, it was all because Ultimate and Teen Gohan are just solid characters.
True. Very true.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah,
only you can get rid of Kid Gohan and get Adult Gohan.
To be fair, Kid Gohan does have some of the higher potential in the league to be one of the better melees.
Oh, he does, yes. But just imagine Adult Gohan on that Gohan team.
Oh, definitely.
Actually, I would
he'd
have
be
to
pulled
remove
off.
Sandman.
What?
I would have to remove Sandman.
Oh, I
because
forgot.
No, you can't remove Saiyan.
Never mind. False alarm.
Oh, oh, good.
This is a false
Right,
thing.
so, future Gohan.
I will say that androids really tried to counter you pretty hard, and your
Oh, yeah.
team just prevailed overall. Even with a counter right in your face, you're like,
Androids are one of those teams that are not just, they have good characters, but they always try to counter, and they're always really smart about what they do. And even their map decision was smart, and I just really
Take it,
respect.
Ben. Go.
Yeah, they remind me of last season's Super Saiyans. You know, despite them going into full test mode last
No, not this season's, just last season's.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Last season. Last season's Super Saiyans, they, you know, despite always seemingly to be in the lead, they did at least try to scout out their opponents and try and do what they wanted to get an edge. You know, they weren't just strong, they were smart about how strong they were.
Yep.
And I think that's really why they pulled ahead last season. And I can see that in the androids this season, you know, despite their loss, I still think that they have the potential to be one of, if not the highest rated team in the league.
Oh,
I agree with
definitely.
that.
I have no argument to any of those words.
I like how they're always using Giro as the Draconic Aura character.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because he's always up in your face and he's already got sort of a power body counter with his grabs, and it's kind of nice that way.
And if he does accidentally go up against a B2er, he can still absorb B2s, he can still grab them. So it's just a beautiful counter.
Hey
Yeah.
guys,
It's really nice.
Oh, hey there.
it's a beautiful
Hello.
counter. What?
Giro.
Why are you looking at Jiro's counter? That's you know you
No.
can get arrested
We're
for
saying
that.
we're saying Giro is a good counter to power bodies. Not
Yep.
power bodies.
Sure
but-
he is.
Anyways,
Anyway,
anyone
do
else
we
have
want
anything else to add about this fight?
Ultimate
What
Gohan
fight?
took down Cell?
Ultimate Gohan was a god.
And he took
Ultimate-
down 17.
Ultimate Gohan's one of those characters that is becoming really scary this season. He's one of the top-rated characters, I think.
He should be the strongest character in the game, but no.
You know
One
who
thing I
is the
just
strongest?
noticed is
Go
I can
on,
understand why they
function,
started
University
with.
I'm sorry.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it's right. I can see why they started with Cell because it did put Ultimate Gohan on power body lately, and I've been starting with him or near starting, so I can see why they would start with Cell to break
Yeah,
to
makes a
the
good-
power body.
Yeah, I mean, they were expecting Power Body third, and in case it was first, I guess Cell would be a really good counter to it with
Yeah.
his good spam.
Yep.
His really quick melee. All right. Anyone else got anything to say about this match?
I guess both teams just did really well, really excellent. Both tried to counter, and the counters didn't work as well as they wanted, but it still went pretty damn well for both teams.
I would like to say
Great fight.
Go ahead.
that the Gohans have fabulous hair.
Damn right.
And the tags.
Thank you.
Tags. Tag.
Yep.
All right.
Justice.
Next
Justice.
match.
No, it's not called tags. It's called justice.
Oh wait,
That's right.
Havoc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since you joined the
Okay.
cast, I have to make you the banner now. So I'll get I'll get the specifics and all that from you later.
Okay.
All right.
My vote's on Sandman Head.
Okay.
Say a minute. That doesn't sound right by itself. It just doesn't. Let's talk about one of the best fights this week, obviously.
Oh, Sands and Muscle.
Yeah.
Actually that was kind of a highlight match this week.
I enjoyed it.
I
Who won
enjoyed it a
Also,
lot.
I think
enjoyed it a
that
lot.
no one saw it coming except us. All of us in here saw it coming.
What did we see coming?
Saiyans beating Muscle.
I saw Raditz wrecking.
Did we predict that?
That's all I gotta
We
say.
didn't even do predictions. How did we see that coming?
No.
I saw it coming because it's Raditz, and Raditz is radical, dude.
Radical Raditz, brah.
Dude, look radical. Yeah.
Right. There was like a last minute decision we had to make because basically what my team was looking for was because I was exceptionally busy with a project which might get revealed when this comes up. I'm not sure.
No, it
But,
won't be yet.
It might be.
It's-
So when people are watching this, they might see what it is. But basically, my team was working on a lineup which included Bardock because originally we had Raditz to be subbed. No, Turles to be subbed because Raditz was subbed last time. Or I'm getting confused. I have no idea. One of them was subbed. Either way, we kind of decided because for not only because Bardock was derping, but because it would be our last Raditz bench if we benched him, and that would make us more. It would make us easier to figure out. Other teams would be like, okay, so Raditz can never be benched again, and we have it easier to figure out who they're gonna bench against us now. And it just sort of opens it up. And we were thinking, you know what, it might make us a little bit weaker if Bardock were to perform, if he was in, but overall in the long term, it's better.
we have better chances against other teams because we're less predictable. And not only that, but apparently Raditz is a very good counter to characters like Roshi,
Yeah,
who are
apparently.
aggressive. Yes.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, we really did try to counter them. The Dragon Power was all for.
Oh.
Uh,
Geo cut off, I guess. Whatever.
G decided that he's gonna drop out of the call. I'm gonna continue his train of thought. So
All right, you
I'm
go
back.
ahead.
Raditz's hair
Welcome back.
is so
I'm back.
fabulous that it blocks all of the attacks. And even if they decided to attack it as a weakness, it just absorbs all the blows and sends it back at them tenfold. Example one is Master Roshi and how all the punches he did when he was behind him didn't do damage at all. It was just Raditz hurting himself mentally, thinking that he got hurt, and then Roshi lost. The end.
You are a genius,
End
Kale.
of-
A genius.
Continue your train of thought, Geo, about Raditz.
Basically, our biggest counter with him was Dragon Power. We knew Garlic or Roshi was going to be first, and it worked out. We knew they both have Power Body, and they're both very Clash heavy. And, I mean, they both have Power Rage, and they were both very Clash heavy, so Dragon Power would be a strong counter. Worked.
Okay.
I agree with that, yeah.
Power Body Turles, it was Bojack he was supposed to face, but Raditz gave us enough of a lead for Turles to pretty much do his thing. And even against Bojack, he was handling him well, and I was happy. Very happy. And then Scouter, we went from the super build to his original build, even though it's on TNAI now, and he's like his old self, and I'm really happy about it. He's spamming Garlic on and Garlic Cannon, or whatever the hell it is. And it was just amazing to see him like his old self. This is the build he used last season, and it's the build we used in the beginning of the season, and it's what we expected him to be like in the beginning. And I'm just really happy we finally got him to be like his old self. And then there was Nappa, MVP of the match, who, pretty much won it for us.
MVP.
Won it for us. He won it.
He did that without. He did a perfect match. I saw that,
MVP.
not taking a single point of damage.
He beat legendary Broly without taking damage.
I will say that my favorite part of the match was legendary Super Saiyan Broly versus Vegeta Ape. Like, that was the clash of the titans right there.
It lasted for so little, but it was so fun to watch.
I was like in the chat, like, "Go Vegeta, become Ape," and he did it. And I'm like, "Yes, yes."
I was just a little annoyed that a lot of people don't really have the confidence in Nappa. They're like, Squee was saying, "Oh, Broly can still take it if he's at 1 bar, and in Legendary he could still take Nappa." Nappa's a spammer. I know he has Volcanic Explosion, but you look at his stats for his B2 hit rate, he has one of our better hit rates. He has like 68% or something like that. It's actually better than, I think, Bardock's, or it's better than Scouters, or one of our spammers. And he doesn't actually miss that much. He doesn't throw as many, but he doesn't miss that much either. He's not as bad as people think.
I really love his B2 Volcanic, not the Volcanic,
Blazing Storm.
Blazing Storm. I love it. I say this every
Yes.
week. I love it. It's an amazing V2. I just wish he threw it out more, and I'm glad he at least did one this week. The hit, because it almost always hits when I see it. I've only seen it get dodged like a hand. Like, I can count in my finger, like 3 fingers. If you amputated 2, I can count that. Because it's 3. So
Yeah.
I got that. So I really think people do look down at Nappa because he hasn't been doing that well, because he's throwing out the wrong V2. But even when he does throw out that wrong V2, it does connect. It does do a pretty good amount of damage.
Who is blowing?
He's
into
on a
the
defensive
microphone?
build. He's doing his job. I don't know. It's Fraser. It's you, Fraser.
No, it's Havoc. It's Havoc.
Havoc. We can hear you.
Thank you, Drac. Thank you, friend. Yeah, I see how it is. I'm just sitting here quietly, reflecting.
It was
on
Fraser.
things.
God damn it! I knew it. I knew it was you.
Does someone want to speak on behalf of Muscle?
No, because Wolfie's not here. He decided.
Yes,
to bitch out.
Roshi. There you go.
I will say that even though you guys started with a great counter and you guys had the stronger counter of the group, they did try. Like, it wasn't like they were like just handing you the win or anything. They did do a really strong team against you.
Yeah, it was a really
definitely.
good game.
It was a really good match. I'm surprised that they didn't do better, but hey, they were against the best monkeys in the universe. So what we're gonna do about that?
Yeah,
West Kai,
actually,
best Kai.
we were scared of having to face 13. That's why we had Power Body Turles there. We expected 13 to be in, and that was the most likely spot that we thought he could be in. Since he wasn't, I think it was even better for us.
Yeah,
And
like that's the best type of event you can have. You try to counter, and if the counter is like doesn't work to what you thought, it can still be better than what you thought.
Yeah.
It's always
I'm pretty sure they try to counter us. They're not a Viper and Wolfie. They and all the muscle. They always try to counter. They're a very counter-heavy team from what I've seen. But to be honest, it's hard to counter us. We never started Raditz before. This is the first.
We never started Raditz
I
before
agree with
because
that.
his hair is too fabulous. Normally, it would beat every team.
Are you talking about mine?
That decided.
You're talking about my hair, right?
Frazier, I'll talk about your hair later. Right now, I'm talking about Raditz's hair.
Oh.
So, Raditz's hair is just too fabulous for the entire rest of the
Wait,
league.
is my hair about as long as Raditz, if you actually think about it?
I think that
it goes down my
Raditz hair.
back.
Can we
I
take
think
a time
Raditz
out
hair is a
instead of...
combination.
I'll talk about Raditz's hair in a second, but I just found a font that instead of the numbers, instead of the hashtag and the number 1, it is a sideways T with a circle around it and a toaster.
That is the greatest font.
Well,
I think Raditz's hair is what happens when you have hair that comes alive and eats someone else's hair, primarily Nappa's hair. And that's why
Bayonetta?
Nappa's called.
Bayonetta versus Raditz versus me.
so it feeds on other hair, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Hair
Yeah,
versus
and
hair.
that's why
versus
they
hair.
always try to throw him later on, because they're afraid that he'll tag and start eating everyone else's hair.
Today, it's too bad for the other team because they started him, and his hair ate all the other hair.
And what happened to Roshi's hair? Want me to tell you?
Well, he didn't
Raditz.
have any to begin with, so. Sorry to all the Roshi fans.
It's still gone.
Myself
It's still
included,
gone.
but
He has that chest hair though.
he has that chest hair and the facial hair, but that's it.
I will say both teams tried to counter, and I think Saiyans just had a stronger counter. But like Bojack versus Turles, most people would think Bojack would win because he's a spamming B2er, but Turles just performed better.
Turles is
So-
exceptionally dodgy. He's
Yeah.
sort of passive, but really dodgy and really good when the opponent gets aggressive in his face.
Yep.
And I love that.
So altogether, I think Sans had a better counter, but for some reason Muscle had a few derps here and there, or something, and they didn't perform as well as we expect from Muscle, I guess you can say, and thus we
Yeah.
didn't even see Nappa hit the field. Except, well, he did hit the field. We saw him at the end. He
I feel
perfect
stupid.
sweep pipe.
I was a little blinded by my team, by like the whole match. I was really happy, so I wasn't really paying attention to
You
if
were
Muscle
happy,
was
happy
derping,
Turles
but
Foundation.
yeah, but I wouldn't be. Oh my God.
What?
But I wouldn't be surprised if one of Muscle's characters was derping, because I don't believe we should have won this easily.
I think
They are a
you
very
shouldn't have
strong
won this
team.
as easily, but with the countering and stuff, I think you guys should have won.
They did, so congratulations.
And so
All right.
So you were gonna talk about my hair?
Oh yeah, Frazier. Your hair is as long as an elephant's buttocks. As graceful.
I'm leaving now.
As graceful as a dandelion.
That's the
Through
YCast,
wind.
folks. We'll see you next week.
thank you
We'll see you
guys
next
for
week.
coming, watching this show. We're so glad you guys enjoy this. We will keep on doing this every week because it's so fun, and we hope to see you again.
Yeah, predictions will
We're not,
be.
yeah, I was about to say Drek. We're not done yet.
Well, I mean, we're done for.
Well, we're done for
match
the night,
discussions.
but
Yeah, we're done
Yeah.
for this alone.
no. Well,
Match discussions will come up next. See you later.
Bye.
yeah, I'm making the YCast topic right now in the
Well, you could always just put like, if a certain word or your name comes up.
Yeah, there's a open team forum where you talk about everything random.
Mhm.
Nope, it's just called the open team forum. Yeah, this is really stupid. There's like no specified area for anything. I can't find. Is Fantasy League on here, or is that not?
Oh, how much I don't want Namek to win
That's
against Super
stupid.
Saiyans. Oh man. Yeah. No, go Saiyans.
Yeah, there's like 70
Go
people.
Saiyans. Super
I'll bring back the
Saiyans.
squee sometime when they burn.
Yeah, I want Super Saiyans to lose because that means we're first in the division.
No. You'd have to win against Gohans, and you can't win against Nutshots.
I'm going to, but I'm
You
gonna
can't win against Nutshots.
This is just gonna be the temporary until we can.
I feel people are underestimating them because, yo, he's a boy, he's a
Definitely
child,
not.
he's got nut.
Wait,
Yo.
can I do that? If I can do that, I will.
Because he's an emperor.
I
What?
think I might
He's an
ask
emperor.
Bird
There's like a
before I do
movie.
that. I'll
The bodyguard.
I'll Skype Bird.
I'm not fucking joking.
Okay, I'm gonna do it again. And
Dragon
after
Ball
this,
movie?
I'm gonna let him host.
What?
Or Wolf, you might want to host if there's.
I don't know. I just remember a beginning.
Okay.
Chaozu's on a throne. Tian's like on his side as a bodyguard. It's hilarious looking.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the Garlic movie?
What?
There's the Garlic Jr. movie.
In Dragon Ball?
They're missing
I
a
don't know.
lot of things on this forum.
I don't know. Like I only know 2 Dragon Ball movies. The start of that one, and the one where Roshi goes ham on like
black,
a bunch
black
of
with white on it,
on
not
shit.
white with black.
no on shit.
Yeah,
Dragon
because
Ball,
especially if
not
you're doing
Z,
something on
not
the
Z.
forums
Oh.
late at night.
I thought the Garlic movie was in
It's
like
so
early
stupid.
Z because they had like Kid Gohan in it.
Yeah, that's why I was like questioning because I was talking about Dragon Ball.
I
Oh,
doubt we're
I
gonna
haven't
be able
seen
to
any
make them
Dragon
change
Ball
their
movies.
layout.
I've seen all the Z ones.
I've only seen the Dragon Ball movie with like 8 or 9 shit.
Okay, he's gonna try
That's
and
it.
restart his
That's the only one
computer.
I've fully seen.
He doesn't.
Anyway,
what's
I
going
know
on.
for a fact there's one where like little Chaozu starts off on like a throne or some crap.
Yep.
Yo,
I'm
man,
on, he's
that
on
is
a drug
one.
trip.
That's one detailed drug. I'm not on drugs right now.
Are you sure?
I am.
69% positive.
Okay. Dude, I'm in 4th place in fantasy. I'm pretty hyped about it. They did.
This is gonna be stupid because now I have to go back and forth
What's your
between
team
regular
name?
forum, the Zeta, and then the TGN forums.
What's your
to do
team name?
All the DBZ League stuff. I have to do
Uh-huh.
fantasy stuff too. So. Yeah, I know, but you're gonna
Seekers of
you're gonna have to
victory are
talk to your
not
team
very
on the new
seeking.
forums.
Right. I'm 9 points out of 1st place.
Yep.
I'm lucky shot.
So I'm gonna try and get my fellow Earth defenders in a Skype call. So
Yeah.
we don't have to use the forums as much.
Yeah.
Because it's a little annoying because I don't
I
get
think-
notifications.
well, he only
on there
got
anyways
13
when somebody
points this week.
answers. So I have to check every like couple hours because Burns pretty frequent on there.
Yeah, he had a huge lead, and then that one guy who got 82 points that one week
it's whatever,
lost
I
2
don't
points
care.
this week.
I usually check it every couple hours
Yes.
anyways if I have time.
Yeah, I'm adding Mecha Frieza. I would drop him really, really quickly because he's gonna
Oh,
be
they playing Super
benched 3
Saiyans?
times over the past.
Go Namek! No, go Namek. I want... Dude, wait, are you
Yeah.
Saiyans or Super Saiyans? Then guess what?
Swap
Mm.
period.
Yeah, I
Hey,
want
can I-
Super Saiyans to
people
lose
are
Really
because
picking
trying
that
up
to
means we're
get
Raditz.
first
Scuddy
in the
on this
division.
one.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
We're gonna
Hey,
win against Go.
Kale, really, really try and get Scuddy on this.
We're gonna
you
win
can.
against Nutshots. We don't even know if Chatsu
Alright,
has
yeah.
nuts.
Okay,
Good,
yeah.
very
That
good.
was
How do you
the
know that?
person to add.
Tell me how you know this, and I'll believe you.
Anyway.
That made no sense.
Where are you posting? TGN?
What? What? What movie is this?
Okay.
I
Gale,
don't
the
remember
movie's
this
called
movie at all,
Dragon
and I've
Ball
seen every
Mystical
Dragon Ball
Adventure.
movie.
I will look it up.
Chaozu appears as the king of the Mifan Empire with Tien as his bodyguard. I'm like reading a wiki right now.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Garlic Jr.?
The
Yeah,
wiki page doesn't lie.
man, it does.
Tao's
I
in
don't know,
it.
I don't care.
Tao's in it.
Whatever. I'm finishing this forum post, and then we'll start.
It's the Aurelie crossover. It's the Aurelie crossover.
Oh.
It says it is. Yeah, Dragon Ball Mystical Adventure. It's got Aurelie on the back of the Nimbus. Yeah, Aurelie crossover.
Boom.
This is the reason why we have the Demon Child in the league.
Hey, wait. Can I just ask, Kale? Do you still have any more Cards Against Humanity videos that you're gonna upload later?
He has tons, dude.
Dude, let me
I'll
read
look it
this.
up after we do predictions.
Okay.
And I'll tell you if it's a real thing, or if you were just on a drug trip.
I could have told you that.
I want to play.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I looked through, like I watched the 2 latest ones just to check them,
did they
and
update
it still
fantasy?
hasn't gotten to the
Oh God! I
the
don't wanna know.
hilarious
Oh, God.
moment where you started breaking.
I'm looking right now. Don't worry about it.
Perfect.
No,
Dude,
That's
I don't have a team.
I'm
That's gonna be
joining.
so fun.
Can I join the cards group? I'm good at cards.
Yeah, I'm still in 20th place. No, yeah, we're seeking. We're just not succeeding. Although I'm gonna change up some of my roster this week.
Nice.
Who?
All right,
Ooh.
I got a question. Can you guys hear me better this week?
Wait,
Because
what?
on the
Which one are
Ydcast
you?
it seemed a little quiet.
Okay, so
Okay.
you are just behind Team 5-Star and Burn. Not bad. And the Ambiturners, but Burn's gonna be mad. He got bumped out of first by 1 point. Yeah, I know. It's not good. He had a huge lead. Yeah, exactly.
He has a wife? Oh, too. He has. Oh. He has like a
Chaozu has a
doll. He has like
Oh.
a doll wife, which surprisingly
Okay, so
looks
yeah,
a
but
lot
I'm
like
changing
him
up some
because of the
stuff on my
weird
team this
eyes.
week since we got the swap period, because some of my team ain't performing well.
Interesting.
No, I mean, just
Ooh,
click the link.
I'm debating what if, because
I will-
Frieza got wrecked this week. He's
Ran.
been good all season. I have Frieza on my team. Yeah, because
That's
he's gonna be benched
What the
3
fuck?
times. Yeah,
That's
so I'm
messed
thinking
up
of,
right
I'm
there.
gonna get
What am I even
5.
looking at?
That is
So we'll
his
talk about that
wife
in
slash
fantasy.
doll.
Fantasy this
Ran.
week will be
Yeah.
really interesting.
That's
since
all you
it's
need to know.
Swap week. And
I like I'm looking at his family. I like
Yeah,
how
people are
future
picking up Reddits,
Chaozu is
dude.
there. It's just him, the Chaozu that dies, I guess.
oh,
In
I'm going.
future
I'm talking to him
It's
about
the
it.
Chaozu that
Yeah,
dies in
we're
future
messaging each
Trunks'
other on the
timeline.
forums about this
Why is
stuff.
that even in there? Why is this part of the wiki?
I don't know.
He's
Hey,
like
do we
shown for
wanna
like literally 1 clip.
Okay.
Do we
I'm
want
almost
to
done with
make a
this
Y
stupid
class,
post then.
Y-cast questions page, kind of like Z?
On the new forum,
You're
on the new
kidding me.
forums, I'm posting a new thread for the.
Oh,
White
this
Okay.
one's fun.
Oh,
Right.
I think I know
Right.
what you're talking
Right.
about now.
Okay.
Reading the wiki.
If you don't say so yourself.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
just. I'm
Guys.
just staring at this stupid doll thing.
Oh, Tao's in it.
Ran-
Best movie, 10 out of 10.
It's ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
Oh,
It's
that's the
funny.
no. Is it?
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's
It's not
Chaozu.
awful. It's It's not awful.
Well,
If
well, Riley was
Chaozu
also
wore
in the
drag,
episode,
he'd look like that.
So,
That's true.
friggin' dog
Hill
food bone or whatever
summarized
that
my
movie
reaction.
was. Yeah. Okay. So
Anyway, we're gonna start the prediction soon.
what?
I gotta pull up the schedule.
Oh, dude. Let me read them off to you.
His
Right?
wife.
Right?
I just finished a batch of editing last night. Where's the
Oh
need
my God,
the
what
need
is
to be
that?
uploaded?
Right?
I have
Right.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Ooh.
13, 14, and then one episode of a Pokemon
Not
episode
this
that I
week.
just edited
No, yeah,
last night.
this week we have 4 divisional matches.
Yeah.
Boo Blade is divisional.
Uh,
Val's
probably.
Android is divisional. Majin Muscle is divisional, and
Oh,
Dragon
no,
Ball
that's the
Warriors
next one.
Rugrats is divisional.
That's going out. That's actually going up tomorrow. Do it. Do it.
Hello,
Dude,
everyone.
we just record everything, so- I still have that one like 4-hour session we did too, that I need to edit.
Oh, wait, for your channel? Or for ED?
So, God.
I've seen
No,
it.
but I
I've
was
seen
up,
it.
I
up,
saw
up
it,
until
yeah.
like
Wait, you
3
should
in
make
the
it better
morning
since
last
erectile
night editing,
dysfunction.
videos and making
Yes.
the
Do
new,
it.
Yeah,
channel better.
just put ED. Don't write Earth's Defenders. But
So.
just put ED and leave it up to interpretation.
I remember during the map
Yeah, you
battles
sound good, dude.
for Ruin City, the battle between
Okay.
Bardock and Yamcha. I just remember because Squee was doing like his Vegeta voice. I just remember him making a joke how Yamcha has erectile dysfunction.
He does.
Where's the
That's
thing?
why That's why he gets killed all the time. He gets killed all the time in hopes that the dragon will wish him back and help fix his ED.
There's like,
But he
Can
never
we stop
does.
talking about Chaozu? I
there's
don't.
like, yeah. So Balma told me. Yeah, I don't know. It just got weird, but it's hilarious that Squee understood the joke before we even made it.
Yep.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it's okay.
Who cares? We could predict the exhibition even though we have no idea
Oh, I
what it
remember that movie.
Yeah,
now.
what is the
Never
expedition?
mind.
is.
Can someone summarize what the expedition is? Because I missed it. Mhm. And do we like per team like Rugrats? Okay.
Hey, can I just say?
That's pretty awesome.
You know how everyone has like
Why not?
signatures? All I see is the link. I don't see this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
I just did. That's what I just did.
It'll be fixed.
No, it's Ycast, and it says, please voice your.
Hey,
opinions here."
Kale, you're gonna also have to create like
I just made that.
an
because
area where you
G reminded me to
say,
do it.
or
He told
some
me-
way of
he said he was
publicizing
gonna
that the
do it.
new episode is out.
And right now, I'm changing my profile
'Cause
picture because
we haven't been doing that.
When I also made a new Earth Defenders banner, and it's amazing.
Because like I did that on the shout box for like
I-
the first
I do say
2
so
weeks, and
myself.
then I was just like, ah, fuck.
I haven't
You
even
just need
looked
It's
a-
at
like got
it.
overshadowed so quickly. I was like, no.
I'll
It
look at
wasn't
it here in a
overshadowed.
sec.
It's just that not a lot of people got into it. If we made a new Ycast thread
I don't know if I should believe you.
and link them all, that's what we need to do.
I do know that there's quite a few people who
Oh,
like
God.
regularly watch it, which is nice. But it's only like I think like maybe 10 at the most.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
It's more than some people would have gotten.
That's fine. As long as we get the most
As
active.
soon as I look
people,
at the doll
think we're
thing.
good.
I see it. It's
Schedule for
fun.
what? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull that up too here in a sec. I need to not make. Oh God, what the heck is that?
Sensubin.
Chaozu, don't do it. They're tricking you.
Just- You sound like an old witch.
Exactly.
Not like really.
I'm gonna actually bet this week. I haven't bet since like week 5.
Sure, why not?
Nah. How about
Oh
tomorrow?
yeah, Wolf, you play Majin, don't you?
How about
I
tomorrow?
knew it. I knew it. Did you get the conversation about the doll?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you this real quick.
Oh, we're
Alright.
doing predictions this time. We have
Yay.
myself, Jim, obviously
That's
Kale,
the new banner that I just made.
the Craig, Creek.
K Rain. K
No, if you want to.
K Rain. K Rain. K like the letter.
K Rain,
Thank you.
Pycon, yeah,
Why would I do?
Pycon works.
and Wolf, and Blue Wolfie.
Gosh dang it.
All right.
What does that even
Why?
I just like it. No, he fucked up. Whatever. Let's get on to the first match. Go Super Saiyans, yeah.
In all honesty, Namek's 2-0 or 1-0 against teams where they shouldn't win.
No, they're.
This is gonna be a really early prediction since next week's some kind of exhibition tournament.
Yeah. Honestly, the Super Saiyans are gonna win by 2 characters.
No, we're gonna
Super
recap.
Saiyans.
Squee
I am
basically
green,
said that it's gonna
but
be.
apparently
what
I'm not a
he's planning
Namek.
on
I already
doing,
voiced my displeasure about that
is
burn, and he
it's
said
like
no. Pycon's not a Namek.
60
And I was
it's
like, why?
a lot of
He's
it's gonna be
green.
like 2
Right?
characters
That's
per
what
team
I said.
Those are the qualifications, apparently.
in a
Yes.
battle royale tournament. Yeah, there's gonna be 2 characters for Rugrats, 2 for ED, 2 for Muscle. You get to make the build. You get to do whatever you want.
No, just some bullshit is
Pycon's
that?
not an ED. Pycon is not an ED. He's a Namek, but he's not an ED.
Yeah, that's it. You don't get.
That would be
nerf
like
fixing
saying
that,
if androids won Tenkaichi Ball,
it's
they
dumb.
could get Super
But
17.
whatever, I can
Yeah.
deal with it. I'm basically just gonna be on that
That'd
forum
be
to
even
do
worse
my
because
team
then they
stuff.
get rid of Ader. He'd still
And
be the
he'd
best
be-
character in the league.
What the hell is a negative Patara? It's like, give them 7 flights.
Yes.
Oh, I'll do that. I'll
That's
do that
racist.
in the
I gave it
chat
7.5 cents to
on
be
Skype, and then in this
What?
Okay, how about we actually predict the match?
Wait, we're giving
Yeah.
ratings?
No.
Yep.
4 out of 5.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing. Keep going. Androids.
Yep. So,
Wait, androids aren't in this.
oh yeah, it's
Nothing.
G. You're gonna like my new profile image.
Wait, is it
Look now.
androids versus Super Saiyans or something?
Here,
No.
G.
Go on, KO.
Senzu bean. There you go. Good. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Okay, are we ready to do this now? Good, because I'm. Well, I mean, I've been recording for the past like 12 minutes, so.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
But I could.
I got my reaction to it. I don't know if I got anybody else's. So, welcome to the Ycast. Yep.
Right. Honestly,
Game
I
quick look.
feel like
Crane,
the
Crane,
Nameks
Cree,
are kind of.
K-Rain,
They don't have
K,
anybody
K.
who's overly weak, but they don't
K.
have anybody
Pycon!
who's overly strong. It's like they. Right. Tambourine isn't Tambourine anymore.
Okay.
Right.
Oh boy.
I feel like they should
we got
literally
got
just take the
something
build
coming
they
up.
had
Gosh,
him
dang it, I forgot
on
to turn
him
Skype
last
on
season
silent.
and put it on him this season and see what
Stupid
happens.
Skype.
Like, why would you switch up? Right. Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
What does that even mean,
I don't like.
Wolf?
I get it. AIs break a little.
I
but, like,
predict
it
Jesus will
breaks
try
and
to
then they
turn
fix
things
themselves
into
when you
water.
get a
Wait,
break.
wine, yeah, that.
So I would give that a shot again if I was Namek.
Oddly enough, Tambourine is ranked as their
Namek
best
Super
character.
Saiyans. Go Namek,
The
you
one
can do
match.
He won Elite 1 week.
Yeah,
Destroy the
that
shiny
was-
things.
I feel like that their strongest.
Well, guess what? They're gonna do it again. Prediction 3-0. Namek.
I've tried
10
to
out of
watch the
10.
matches, but the one
IGN.
character that always eludes me because he keeps doing like a non-amazing performance is King
No,
Piccolo.
you're a
He
liar.
he just
You're a
doesn't
liar,
seem
you're a
good
bad person.
at
You
all.
shouldn't- You're
Like
green.
he seems below average, but consistently below average.
Which isn't good.
Yeah, he might be consistent, yes, but below average. You don't need him consistent there. You need him
Burn it.
consistent much better.
Burn, if you are listening to
Yeah,
this podcast
I think
right
a
now,
lot of it has to
Icon
do with their
either
build. I
needs to join the Nameks
understand
or
the
whoever
idea behind
wins
it, but it's been a long
If Earth Defenders or
8
Nameks
weeks
win
of
the
trying the same thing with
Tenkaichi
focusing
Bowl,
on.
they get
Yeah.
to keep him on the team. They get him on the team.
He's not like Chaozu. He's not like Garlic Jr. Where I mean, even Garlic Jr.
can be
doesn't
ED if he
spam that
wants to
much,
be.
and they don't invest that much on his B1. He doesn't use that Kyoko-sen very well.
Do it,
He doesn't
dude.
use it that
Do it.
often. Yet they have 3
But he
Pataras
can't have any Pataras.
directly focused on it. That's
Right.
5
No
points. with
Patara,
the
only
Pataras
negative
on it
Pataras.
for the B1 that he barely
It
uses
just
well.
does. Namek Super
agree.
Saiyans. I give.
They're
I give
fighting
this
one of the
match
stronger.
7.5 green people out of 10.
One of the
You can make
stronger.
an argument.
Yeah, you can make an argument that this is the most difficult team to fight because they are very calculating. Crimson always tries to count. Yeah.
Crimson's
Crimson's
always
really
countering.
stepped
I've-
into where HJK left and
No,
maybe
don't
exceeded him as far as
don't
the
worry about it.
analysis
Okay,
goes.
I'll actually start with actual
They have
predictions. So,
the team's not like they were
feel
last
like
season either,
Super
but they're
Saiyans have
just
the
as
advantage
strong.
going
They've
in.
got people
obviously,
like
they're
Trunks who have now
probably-
stepped up
at this
and are
point, I
probably
think
one
they're
of
the
the
strongest
stronger
team in the league.
characters. Adult Gohan's an even bigger monster than he used to be.
Oh.
And
Yep.
and
feel
Vegeta,
like
he's
they're
gonna
the
be in
strongest
next
team in the
week.
league
They gotta deal with
at
him,
the
Vegeta.
moment.
He could be on Power Body. He
They've
could
got
be
the
on pure
most
spam.
You shut your mouth.
He's
They've
just
lost
so
2 in a row.
difficult to
What
figure
about
out.
just to the green
And-
people.
hmm
Yeah, that's
talking
what
about
makes them so
androids,
difficult to
leave
deal
it.
with. Especially last season when they had that really
No,
really
it's
defensive
Namek and
build
Super
or
Saiyans.
like the extended Super Saiyan
So,
on Trunks, where like he was
I
a
feel like
monster
that
muscle wise.
If Namek
They were
comes out
so
to play like they
difficult to
have
deal
been,
with because
the
they
past 2
literally
weeks,
could go
not only
all
will it be a
defense
close
on the
fight, I feel they
characters,
have-
all offense on the
they have a
characters,
ton of
mix,
potential
all
to win
melee,
this
all
fight
V2.
because
You had no idea what they were going to do.
It depends on how they manage doing their
Exactly.
builds this week.
That's
I feel like
what
they have
needed to
early
be nerfed, and
Piccolo
I think that's why
down
they kind
packed.
of
That's a
moved,
great
moved
build.
them down to Super Saiyan 1
He's been
because
doing
there's
great.
not
They can
as much
tweak him a bit,
flexibility
make him
there.
better.
There's
But
still a
they
lot of
need
flexibility,
to
but it's just not as
deal
much
with
as they
the
had
flaws
last
on
season.
their roster this week.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah,
if
that's
they can,
fair.
if they can even fix one of their characters, because Nail's been great. Nail has been
think-
playing above what we expect from
Well,
him.
other than King
Early Piccolo's
Piccolo,
been
I
great.
still think they need to.
fix
Early Piccolo's
Tambourine
doing
in
good.
Piccolo,
I'm not gonna argue
and
it. He's
they
doing
do have
good.
King Piccolo
I don't
back
like
in
the
this
build. I
week,
think he
so-
could do better.
who has been arguably their strongest character this year.
Yeah, I really do think the build can be improved. I mean, Power Body works, but just try something else. I mean, even if you don't want to
Because they
switch Power
lost
Body,
Tambourine.
think about not
Like, they
using
lost-
Power Rage sometimes, because it might be useful
They
against Super
basically
Saiyans,
lost
yes. But if like the androids, it probably wasn't needed. They've thrown like a Blue Batara in there instead.
This is kind of a stat
They
that
got
like
nothing
it
to
might be
lose.
worth like noting. Who has the most clashes this year? I know last year was the Rugrats, but we don't clash a lot this year. So who has the most? Namek does. Okay,
Really?
but
Wait, what?
I have no idea.
What's like?
That's because of
Let me check.
the one week.
I
Dragon
got the
Ball
stats
Warriors.
If you would-
I got
followed
the
by
stats
the
feel like
Gohan.
that
No
their
muscle.
strongest character is still
Yep,
King
Namek.
Piccolo has been their most solid
Yep,
character,
Namek.
other than
Yep.
early Piccolo this
Huh.
year.
Interesting.
And yep, it's Namek.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe that Power Rage is supported because they're getting a lot of
Yeah.
clashes.
Okay, yeah, it is justified. I'm just saying though, like
Yeah, I mean, like I
some
understand your concern.
characters,
No, it's not.
like some characters you don't need it on. I usually think Power Rages
if you want to fight another person with Power
You want 'em
Rage, or if
consistently
you
at least
really believe
average.
your character is going to do more than one clash.
Having Clash
Yes, a
Befores on
clash
the
does.
Roach seems to work out really well for us.
Yeah, but the Roche, he's no, he is about the same
Deal
in
with
terms
the
of clash.
problem.
He's early
King
pickable, I guess.
Piccolo, OP,
He's
make it
got
happen.
one rush and then one beam that clashes.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with Scatter Vegeta. He prefers his Clash B2. We've taken it off. We've taken Power Rage off him, and it hasn't hurt him before. It's not like a big negative to him. If anything, it just left us to give him light body and other stuff so he could work better. Because the opponent we faced, it was like, does he really need Power Rage against this person? It's going to be a 50-50 chance he wins without it, so why not?
Agreed. They need to change that.
I mean, like, yeah, I think that's kind of, it's a judgment call based on the fact if you think your Clasher is better than their Clasher is basically what it comes down to.
I still really hate Active Heart. That's just...
Oh yeah, Crimson's doing great with them.
We can deal with that another time because we already expressed our displeasure with that.
Yep. The Super Saiyans, I think they're just overall better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Of course you are. You're biased.
Yep.
All right, next match. Saiyans derp at Saiyans. Yes, we are.
You can't. It's so hard
Derp.
to predict most of the members.
You got
of the
something
Super Saiyans
against
because they
derp?
can go so many ways with every character.
The champ will reign supreme. True.
Ah, damn.
Oh god.
You know,
Look it up.
I mean, as much.
Hey, you know that dynamic mess him up punch that he throws randomly in the air? It hit Dr. Doom. He blew up.
Yeah,
There's no limit to what
we're
moves
thinking
can be
about benching all our characters except for Nappa because we just don't want to get hit by the dynamic mess him up punch. You know, don't want to get hurt for next week. It's just forfeit.
I can agree with that.
Turn him
Do we
into
have
Sonic
anything
the
else to say on
Hedgehog
this
and just
match?
have him run it everywhere.
Yep. No, they can definitely do better, but he's been fine. He's been fantastic for them.
It'll be great, and you can just deal with. I don't.
Right.
Punches are too scary.
What people never noticed about Raditz is he's so good at melee because you can't hit him from the back. You just can't. Yeah, the hair
You
just
can't
blocks
touch
it all.
his
It's
hair.
like fluff.
You can't touch his hair.
Because he's a
Yeah,
man.
I'm pretty sure.
Exactly why we were thinking of forfeiting.
Is
No,
it Namek? I'm
but
pretty
in all
sure it's
seriousness,
Namek.
no.
Wait.
Guys, that chat.
No.
Look at
It
that
might
chat.
not be Namek.
I'll verbalize it. Is Chuck Norris and Hercule the same person? Because I've never seen them in the same room.
My God.
Right?
It is Namek?
And their legends are so similar.
Okay.
Or present
It's
mom.
just it is justified.
Kale. Chuck Norris punches people on the front.
Chuck Norris, Herc, same person confirmed.
Okay. Got it. Definitely. Who's ever bench will tell them to just go around causing explosions. All right, fine. That was a good 5 minutes of shit. Yes.
All right, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go serious analysis now.
You can start.
Wait, we weren't serious?
Well, more serious. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Andrew 19 is the X factor in basically all of Dirt's matches, in my opinion. If he does good, generally the team does better because he's smart. He's got that grab that is Jiro-esque, but I feel like he uses it better with like
No,
absorbing
that's
B2s.
dumb. That's
And the
stupid.
Saiyans have a fair number of those B2s for him to absorb. I feel like
Vote.
Salza's been doing
G.
better this year, and if he does well, they have a shot. If they don't, then they don't.
Wolf, you already said Super Saiyans. I'm going green people. Go, Namix. You can do it.
Yeah, well,
Just
that's
make
the
sure
thing.
you're
He's
not
their
dumb.
X factor. They just can't get him working, which kind of sucks.
Nope, not talking about this one. Have fun. No, you.
I mean,
can
as
talk about
good
this one.
as much as I'd like to see Derp do good, I really think
go
they're having
champ.
a
The champ-
hard time this
the champ-
season. They're
although-
just not improving that much. They're
although-
having a lot of
The
Derps.
champ did.
I mean,
just defeat
19's
Dr.
not working
Doom
all the
while
time.
exerting 0%
Hercule's
effort.
still their problem child. Even
That
if
did
he's
happen. That
consistent,
did
he's
happen.
consistently bad.
Actually happened yesterday, really
Salsa's
early, or
really
today, really early in the
inconsistent.
morning.
I mean, sometimes he does good, sometimes he does amazing, the other time he just doesn't do anything. Midoriya's sort of on the same page, but a little bit more consistent, yet not as great. They're just, overall, their team's very difficult to get right. Devilman's really
the
that
only
one
chance you have
character
to
which I
counter
think
Herc
is scary. I
is
think
using
Devilman's
Raditz'
gonna
fabulous
have to be
hair.
in against our match.
That
And
is the
we have
only-
to make sure he's out quickly, because
You just
I
need to
do
get
believe
him
Devilman
to go
can
out
bring
there
it back.
with a bottle of
Now,
friggin'
on
head
our
and shoulder
side,
shampoo.
oh yeah, we're pure evil. Well,
Just,
I mean,
have
Bardock's.
somebody bring a
I
watering
don't know how
can
the
or
game rates
something,
Bardock.
a hose maybe,
Here, give me a second.
and
Right.
start
Devil
pouring
Might
water all
Beam
over him
has
and
its
wash
own
his hair.
calculator. I'll
It'll
check
be
it out.
fabulous. It'll
I'll
have
let
that
you know
nice
what you have to deal
sheen,
with.
nice fabulous black
Right.
sheen on the backside. It'll be
Bardock's
great.
really gonna
Then
be,
you
because
can
he's
just
gonna
deal
have to
with-
be in next match.
I don't know
He's
how
gonna
you're gonna
be
deal
the
with the punches,
our
though.
question. He's gonna be the guy that sort of determines
But I don't
it
know.
for us. If Derp shows up to play on all fronts, which is how we're gonna set our lineup, we have to
My hair
expect
blocks
the
it
best
all.
from them.
Right.
Bardock's
Only
gonna be
problem,
the determining factor
Herc
because
doesn't
we're
attack
so
from
unsure
behind.
about him. It's been 2 weeks in a row which he hasn't done
Herc is a
anything
straight up,
great. He
I'm
hasn't
gonna
done
punch you in the
anything
face kinda guy.
basically at all. He's went 2 weeks
So-
with doing less than 10k damage, and that's just
No,
pathetic.
there's no seriousness. I'm not done yet.
We have to figure out if he's
So,
gonna do well. We have to
I'll
figure
look
out
in the
how
chat in a
to
second, Wolf. I'm finishing my
where to
statement
put
before I
him,
forget.
and we have to make
So-
sure he's like in a safe spot. Ironically, he used to be our best character, and now we're acting as if he's our problem child.
Oh my god.
We're gonna rely this
Finishing my
match,
statement before I
because
forget.
if 19 is in, we're probably gonna rely this
Raditz,
match on our melee
fabulous
character,
hair, all
whoever
things
we send
aside,
out, and
block damage from
it's
the
just
back,
gonna be really
but Herc punches people in the
it's gonna be
front.
mainly focused
So
around
it's gonna
Bardock
be-
for us.
It's just gonna be
Because
a matter
if
of
he
can
derps up,
Raditz
if he
turn
fails,
around enough?
it could throw off the game if derps if they're all playing well and none of them are
Stop, Wolf.
derping.
Right. I don't know.
But
Though
we need to
overall, I
deal-
think
the main
we
thing
have
you
the
need to deal with
advantage. Just I think most teams
is you
have the
need to cause
advantage.
as many
over
disasters
Our
around the
teams
planet or the
had-
galaxy or
yeah.
whatever before
Our
the match.
teams
so
had a
Herc is
couple
tired.
troubles with Scouter and Bardock. Scouter's back to his old self from
Okay.
season 5 and season 4. Raditz is showing he can
Now
be
you can just
well, a
do
pretty
whatever you want.
dominating
Go ahead and
character.
talk.
Tillis is about as consistent as he's always been, and I'm really happy about that. And Nappa, we haven't
Now,
seen too much of him,
5
but
minutes of
he's a
fabulous hair.
little worse than people were hoping, but better than I expected, in my opinion. So
Right.
I was
don't know.
dead serious.
I-
These two don't.
Devil Might Beam is obviously an X factor because you guys are relatively evil.
Mhm.
And I feel, and if he can use the Demon Fork Crush, there's not a lot of teams that can
Yeah.
withstand Demon Fork Crush because it's 10k base, which is ridiculous for a B2 in this.
for 2 bars, that's just crazy.
Right.
I'm surprised people don't jump on him earlier seasons past.
Yeah.
Derp.
I feel
Dirk
like in the
can
match
have
with
him,
the Super
ED
Saiyans this
or
week,
DB
if,
Warriors can have him,
19
yes.
had played better.
but
the
I don't
Salsa
think
played
Derp's
great.
ever gonna drop him.
If 19 had played
Oh,
better,
no.
they would have had a
He's
better
too
shot.
good.
I think this might all be.
And his potential is really high.
Yep.
I mean, the whole reason I thought people weren't picking him up was because of his ultimate, and he had like average B2s. No, he doesn't have average B2s. He has one cheap but good B2 and one cheap and amazing B2. It's worth the ultimate. You got characters with worse B2s who have suicidal ultimates.
Right.
So, Wolfie Kale, you got anything serious to bring to this conversation? No? You're both gonna be silent. Okay. Time to vote. I'm obviously gonna vote for the Saints to win. I think we just have a natural advantage over them, as most teams do.
I think that Derp can give you guys a good run for your money, but ultimately, your X Factor of Bardock and Scatter Vegeta will win you guys the match, in my opinion.
I think Bardock's gonna be the one who would throw us the
Kill everybody
match.
but Bardock.
Yeah, well, Bardock's gonna swing the match.
Yeah,
I think he'll do good this week. I feel like you guys are gonna fix him. You're gonna go back to the drawing board, see what worked last year, and see what you guys can do.
we've been on the drawing board for him since the Super Saiyans, and we didn't bother to change too much because we don't want to make like 1 week change.
Right.
Like one bad week, oh, we have to change him. We don't do that sort of thing. I hate that sort of thing. But yeah, we did make like start coming with ideas, do a lot of testing for him ever since the Super Saiyans, and it's just been nonstop. At least for me, it's been nonstop thinking how to fix him.
Right. My opinion, go back to what was working last season and see what you guys can do.
Ironically, what's been working last season was what we did week 1 and what we did against the Valkyries.
Okay, well, I found the damage. I found the damage list. So,
okay.
your Scouter Vegeta gets 18k.
Oh,
Give
that's
me the
his
rest.
face.
Yeah.
Nappa, Raditz, Turles, and Bardock.
There's what's that search key again? I forget it.
What?
There's like a general search key on a keyboard. Never mind. Raditz is 15k.
Mm-hmm.
Nappa is 15k.
Alright.
Bardock is the other one.
Yep. There's also Turles.
Right, Turles. I'll find them eventually. It'll come. Bardock is 12k.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's like your neutral character.
Right. And then Turles is.
He's probably gonna be at like 15 plus.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna go 15k. I can't find him right now, but probably around 15k.
Yeah, Scouter absolutely being the most evil.
Turles is 18k actually.
Oh, I guess it's with the whole pretty much threatening to blow up the Earth.
Yeah.
Or like not blow, but consume it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good knowledge.
Yeah, there's not that much. Like, there's not a major thing for you guys to be scared about, but it's.
Well, it's 15k plus his Super +1 and Indignation, which, that can jump it up to like near 20k, and and we're gonna have to have one of those 18k characters in, and that'll jump it up to like 24k. So we gotta avoid those.
Right, you gotta try. That's valuable information. Just know, general how your team responds to Devil May.
Yeah, it's gonna be valuable to Derp as well. I'm pretty sure they look at that stuff, but I don't know if.
I'm sure Durangel has found that.
Yeah. I don't think Devilman uses his ultimate too much, though, so I don't know if they rely on it.
He doesn't. He's only
yeah, so I doubt they rely on it.
Once or twice, and no, they don't rely on it. But that could change with the team that's all evil.
We just read off the damage, and
Bardock's neutral.
Is 18.
Yeah, Bardock is
highest
neutral.
Is 18, and the lowest is 12. So.
Can you just look up for shits and giggles, Evil Boo and Kid Boo? Because, I mean, Evil Boo.
Oh, no, they kill.
I will look them up just for shits and
giggles. Alright, but before that, what do people rate? What does Kale think is going to win, and what does K-Rain
I said that you guys were going to win.
And Kale? Champ.
Let's see.
Wolfscott.
Well, it depends. Who is benched this week for you guys?
Yeah, Bardock's going to be in, no matter what.
Okay. If Bardock plays, great. Or even just good. If all your characters play like they have been, then it's going to be a pretty decent... It's going to be a good match, but... I feel like you guys can pull it out. Unless Derp somehow gets Herc to play amazing.
Yeah,
Herc, I'm not counting you out, but if you can play amazing this week and do something, I'll make a banner just for you. Herc gets his own banner.
Anyway, the shits and giggles part. Evil Boo gets a 30k base.
Oh, that's almost a 1-8 kill right there. That's 10k away.
And well, you add in his super plus.
That will be a 1-8 kill, yeah.
And then Kid Boo's 24k.
Oh my god.
Then Bobbity's a 25k, and Deborah is a 27k. So Majin's basically get destroyed.
Wait, check Majin Vegeta, because I mean, like, he is sort of really evil.
It's not as high as
27.
Okay. Can you actually? Here's the one that's really questioning. Majin Buu, because it could be the good Majin Buu or the bad Majin Buu.
It's 12k. They go neutral.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. So next match then. By the way, Wolfie dropped the call.
We have. Well, he said he's gonna.
Okay.
Later.
All right.
We have Edie and Gohan.
Kale, if you would.
Well, Gohan's gonna win.
True.
I'm gonna kill you. So, this week, I guess I should start with our performance this last week. So, Chaozu played great as usual, just not as great as he's been the past 2 weeks.
Yo, having your problem child work is nice either way.
Oh my gosh,
but
it's
they
so good.
Created a new problem child. So.
Krillin.
Okay, well, Krillin's Krillin. He's there, but not all there. So at least he threw out a Destructo Disc this week. I was happy with that. Hey, one is better than none, G.
He said a Destructo Disc.
Yeah,
he did not say plural. He said a Destructo Disc.
That's
correct.
Well, he did throw out multiple, but it was just from one B2, one Ultimate. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Then we have Tien played amazing. Tien was blow for blow with Nam this week, and that was incredible. I am very happy with his build this last week. So
yeah,
he had eternal life, but did Nam have eternal life? Yes, they both had eternal. Yep. Which
eternal life off.
Yeah, I was like, Nam's got this. They're both Tien's kind of passive, and the eternal life Nam has is gonna win him. But then I started noticing Tien's sort of regenning at the same pace.
Eternal life and his defense is incredible. His defense, if he didn't have that defense, he would have lost. So, but his defense.
Oh, yeah.
Did you run a defense plus 3
I'm pretty sure it was defense plus 3 this week.
Okay. He's such a well-rounded character as well. He likes his B2s just as much as he likes his melee.
Tri-beams this week, perfect. So,
yeah,
I was very happy with him. Let's see. Yamcha is Yamcha. Unfortunately, he's not the Yamcha that we saw against Derp.
Hey, he's still a good character.
He just didn't do great.
I'm going to bring something up I've noticed. It seems like the people who were really good last year aren't as good this year for one reason or another. Namely, Nam. I don't feel like Nam's nearly as scary as he was last year. I don't feel Fasha's as scary as she was. I don't feel like Tamborine's definitely not as scary.
Oh, no.
Completely different character.
The thing with Nam is, I don't think it's not that he's not as scary. I think that everyone around him improved, but he didn't. He's still the same character. There's no real
he's still a great
improvement on him. And I mean, oh yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not great.
He just has
I know.
Stayed the same.
Yeah, though that might just be that he can't improve because he is that amazing. I mean, he is that good at this point. And what can you really do to improve a character that's already
you just
great?
Have to try a whole bunch of new stuff. See if
Not much.
But
yeah.
See if
and then finally Krillin, and he threw out a Destructo Disc. He fought Pilaf, okay, but he was just okay. So
yeah, he was. I think it was worse than okay.
He fought Pilaf evenly, and
he did a Destructo Disc, and
Yeah, but he did a Destructo Disc, and that was all for his beat
No,
moves,
we did
right?
one expanding energy wave and hit him a bit.
Yeah, great. Expanding Energy Wave.
Great B2.
I'm sorry, this charge build, this focus on his ultimate build, I don't think it's always a good idea. I don't think it's that great. I mean, I understand the theory behind it, but his ultimate isn't even like it's Maju's ultimate, where it's going to hit. You could still dodge that thing. It's it's not the most amazing ultimate in the world. I think you have to bring him back to his old melee self, or maybe even try defense on
We
him.
have
I don't know what will work. Yeah, I know you guys have done a lot of testing. I know every team's done a lot of testing, but this just doesn't seem to be working, at least not from what
Heads
I've
up
seen. I could
is
be
that
missing something.
we
Could
have
be
been
missing.
testing a lot, mainly with Krillin, because he's really our problem child now.
Yep.
So we've been testing with Krillin a lot.
Yep.
And have found that, I can't really talk about that, but I'm saying that I'm not gonna deny or acknowledge that we might be trying a whole bunch of new things in the future. So,
Right.
Okay. That's
and,
fine.
I think it's a
yeah.
good idea because I mean he's not. You've been lucky so far for him not to have come out because the rest of your team's been doing so great, so he hasn't had to come out at such vital times anymore.
Right.
But if when he does, he just
Yep.
doesn't pull his weight, and yeah,
I
though
agree.
Chaozu, he's pulling
Chaozu's
double
pulling
his
like
weight.
a ton times his weight because he weighs like 15
Yeah.
pounds.
Right, double his weight is still basically nothing,
He's
but
been pulling. He's been
no,
pulling
but
a lot.
in
a
all
lot of weight.
seriousness, yeah, he's been doing amazing. I like the idea of making him your Draconic Aura guide because of his super fast melee. It's really hard to get out of a character's combo if their melee is that quick, and he has one of the quicker melees in the game. Most of the small childlike characters that are very short have that quick melee. Exceptions are
Rugrats.
like yeah, exceptions are like Babidi and Krillin
Dang it, Krillin! Why can't
and
you get fast
people of
melee?
that sort. Yeah. But yeah, Chaozu's been really good. I like the idea of exquisite skill on him. He's one of those characters that can use it well because he does like his B1 fairly enough for it to be worth the 1 point. And he's super aggressive, and he's actually kind of well rounded using that Dodon Ray in the middle
Yeah,
of
dude,
his
it's
combos.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
But the
performing.
main thing is,
exceptionally.
since we're playing Gohans this week, we have to worry about every character on this roster. But thankfully, Kid Gohan is coming back in this week. So I'm not saying he's a bad character, but he's by far I'd say he's their weakest right now. So
Yeah, and you wouldn't
I'm
be
gonna
wrong.
say that we're getting off a bit lucky since we don't have to worry about him being benched, and we can worry about, but we still have to worry about Saiyaman, Ultimate Gohan, Future Gohan, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
Right.
I think Ultimate Gohan is their most underrated character. I feel like he's really good this year. That power body build on him that they were running early in the year is good. It's a good one to fall back on if they're not still running it. Then Teen was a struggle the first 2 weeks, and then they finally started to get a feel for him, and
he's been doing
done
fantastic
exceptionally
now.
well since they figured him.
Oh yeah, it's really been worth that downgrade. I think. I mean, yes, his ultimate's not what it was, but he is just as good, if
He's
not better,
doing
at some
just
points.
as good as he was in a Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
In Super Saiyan 1, I feel like if he was in Super Saiyan 2, he could do more, but he's been doing fantastic, so you can't judge.
I think that
Yeah, you can.
making him Super Saiyan 1 makes him
It
more
does.
flexible, which overall
Mhm.
makes your team better because you don't have his designated role.
Because
That
Yeah.
I'm
that
gonna bring up the
character has to play.
comparison. Because in retrospect, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, or Teen Gohan, is the same as Mid Goku, and he has a one trick. They call him
Yeah,
a one trick pony.
basically.
He can do other things. Like recently, our team's Goku has been throwing out a bunch of Rush, which has mixed it up, and he's been doing fantastic. But it also gives the opportunity to Teen Gohan to do the same thing. In that.
Right. Yeah. That's the other thing that I think was really understated by the admins when they were talking about the change. They said, "Oh, he gets a rush B2." A rush B2s are very, 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 very important B2 to have on your
especially
team.
on a character with such a powerful super. He can change it
Right,
up.
yeah. Because the Masenko's a quick fire, like he said before. It's basically a super Kamehameha. It's just different named. And he's got a rush as opposed to energy wave volleyball. And I don't think anybody in the league would complain of switching a energy wave volley
no, everybody
or
would
a
do that.
rush.
Depending on the rush.
Right. So
but
right.
That rush is a pretty good one though.
It's a good rush. And yes, he's not using his ultimate this year.
He threw one out this week.
Still
he threw 2 out this week.
Right. But like overall he doesn't use his ultimate a lot. But I'm pretty confident Havoc's very happy with the way Team Gohan is.
Oh yeah.
And then
overall, I prefer a character who prefers to go consistently with his B2s and has 2 B2s to rely on. Even if he's split down the middle between both of them, it's fine if both of them are good, because both of them are good. In the case of Teen Gohan, I don't mind him not using his ultimate. He's doing good with his actual B2s, and that's just fine. It's a lot more reliable, in my opinion, to focus on your B2s. Don't have to charge up as much and all.
And the fact that if you miss your ultimate, you are waiting for a while, because his B1 Unforgivable or whatever gave him massive downgrades after he went full power.
It had massive upgrades, yes, but the downgrades, the charge penalty was insane.
Right.
And he usually was on a super build.
Right, and he almost always had to go, if they wanted him to be successful, the way he was successful is if they had him on a super build and he didn't throw out his ultimate, and he just launched a bunch of super Kamehamehas and then tagged. That was how he was his best last year. And then I feel like what they basically did was they took that having to tag away and still made him that good, just without the potential of the ultimate bomb that he had. Which, like, yes, you lose that massive chunk of damage, but overall this year he's definitely putting up more damage more consistently than Teen Gohan ever did.
And going back to Ultimate Gohan, I just love this guy. I mean, he was fairly consistent, but not that great last season. He was like your average character, a little bit above. He was consistent, but nothing ever shined. You never really focused on him. This season, he's finally what like you sort of expect out of him. He has really good B2s and explosive wave. Those super explosive waves are very nice B2s. They're hot. Ultimate.
Ult.
Yeah, they're very hard to get out of. Most characters use them at the right times. They always get close for them. And the Super Kamehameha, it's very nice B2. I'm not sure if he can hold it, but if he can, yeah, that's just an upside. Because yeah, and it's a big Kamehameha. It's not like one of those small ones. It's a big one, and he can charge it, and that's amazing. And then he just has an ultimate. He hasn't used it yet, unfortunately. It's awesome to look at.
It just hasn't hit.
Yeah, he hasn't hit. It's awesome to look at, but still, he's doing great with his melee, and he's, again, one of those characters that likes, he's not well-rounded, but he does like to pepper in B2s, and he does use them at good times.
The 2 explosive waves that he did use this week, were fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like they finally mastered the way, just like, or his AI finally worked out that, oh, I have a really good B2 that I can launch at any given time in the middle of my melee, and it's going to do good.
Yeah, both times he launched it hit for all but one.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you
the only downside of not hitting for all of it within a super explosive wave is that it doesn't get the throwback.
Yeah. The problem child is still Kid Gohan.
Unfortunately.
There's not much to be said about him. He has the potential to be a good melee character. He's, again, one of the characters with really fast melee, and he can be good in melee, but he's just not very consistent with it. They're trying the Kabito secret art route with him, trying to get him to spam that after image. I mean, it works, but not that well. It's not always consistent, and his melee is just not that great. He doesn't dodge all that often.
He hasn't finished Piccolo's training yet.
Yeah, we need Piccolo to teach him how to dodge. Someone get Dynamics over here.
The Rugrats don't want him, because eventually he will grow up into adult Gohan. They have to beat him this week.
Namek taught the Rugrats how to dodge last week. That's why we beat Cold.
Yeah. Adult Gohan doesn't even dodge that much. He just shoots so many.
He doesn't need to dodge. He plows right through him.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. He just doesn't need to because he's always on the offense and never on the defense.
Right. All right. Well, back to the match.
Right.
You want to vote?
Sure.
Sayaman, if he performs, if he's in, I think could help a lot with. I don't know. I think they need DP on him. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really sure about him. He's sort of inconsistent, but okay. Same thing with Future Gohan.
Well, yeah. That's basically the Gohan's flaws are that they're not super consistent, but they show flashes of brilliance.
Yeah. Okay. Time to vote.
I don't need to vote.
Okay, right. Kale votes for ED.
Erectile dysfunction.
Same with you?
No, I'm gonna go Gohan.
I am going to go. I mean, personally, I think ED will have the advantage because Kid Gohan has to be in next week, and Goku has to be in next week, and those are basically the best character for ED and the worst character for Gohan's. And yeah, I mean, they just have the advantage from what it seems in my.
Part of what my mind is seeing is that I can see a Chaozu bench this week, and I think if you take away Chaozu, it just gives the Gohans that.
Oh, I'm gonna give you this stat
advantage.
before I forget. This might sway your votes a little bit, if I can find it in my workshop. Okay, so Chaozu, yeah, Chaozu's we only have two characters that we've only benched once, and Chaozu and Yamcha. So that's who. I don't know who we're gonna bench, nor will I be at liberty to give that information away.
I think those are your two strongest melee characters.
Right, so, and I feel fairly confident one's going to get a bench this week, which just further pushes my vote to Gohan's.
Yeah, I still think because I mean they got Mid Goku, and I think he's just such a powerhouse, and they're gonna have to take out someone. I don't know who they're gonna bench. I haven't looked at their benches yet. They're probably gonna even if they take out someone like Future or Saiyaman, they're still losing one of their better characters for their worst.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Just my opinion. So it's 2 votes for ED, 1 for Gohan's, and really it's kind of close because I would have. I'm not on the verge of picking Gohan's as well.
Well, I would say if you weren't playing me Gohan's, I'd pick you. Because I love me some Gohan. I also love me some Justice.
Next match.
Okay.
All right, next match.
Oh, God.
Booze at Blades.
Ooh, divisional.
Wait. Did the Blades win
divisional
last?
Did they win? Hold on. Who did they play?
I've only watched our
Blades. Who did they play this week? Ginyu Force. No, they lost. Ginyu wrecked their face.
What's the win-loss record for the West guy then?
Ginyu's at 2
so
wins,
confused.
and Blades are, I don't know.
Yeah.
At 3 and 5, Boos are leading. Well, go Blades!
I think Boo's gonna do good because they found Kid Boo again, which is scary.
Oh my god, Blades so good this week.
I don't know. Yeah, Kid Boo was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. He was absolutely amazing. He's on Goku AI this week. I'm going to check his previous weeks to see if there was something different about him. His AI,
All
maybe.
I know is that I believe that I don't know who has to be in on which side. Trunks is coming in for Blades, and then on Boo's side, I think. Yeah, Evil Boo's
Evil, I think.
So.
And that's probably the Blade's strongest character. You can make an argument, and then one of Boo's weaker characters.
The Blade's strongest, I would say, is Cyborg Cat.
He just didn't show it.
He's just so consistent. Oh yeah. I think they got Tapion back as well. As much as I like Sword Trunks, and he does have that potential, and he is super consistent. He's one of the more consistent characters, if not the most consistent. I don't think he's at the level of Tapion or Cyborg Tao. He's good, and he'll last, and he'll do damage, and he's more than
above an average character. But I think Tapion just has so much more damage potential as well as Cyborg Tau, and they always show it a little bit more often than Trunks does.
I'm gonna clarify. I consider best character to be most consistent character.
Oh,
So,
well.
So that's like obviously there's some exceptions.
Can we take a time out
But-
real quick? Havoc. I'm on the forums, and Havoc's in the betting section, and he goes,
Which forum?
starting Zinni, 891,000,
Oh, yeah, all in,
100,000, and he just went all in on Gohans.
Yeah, he does this every week.
Yeah, that's why he's so high. He's
Yeah.
all in on his team 90% of the time, and it's ridiculous.
my
And he
God.
does well.
Yeah, because he's won like 4 weeks in a row right now.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
gone
he's
all
almost at
in
a
every
million.
single week.
Jesus.
I would only bet half
Well,
of
it's
that.
yeah, because
for-
Havoc can't.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it is halfway over, so he doesn't really need to bet. He's the only one in the betting. He's the only one that's
And-
bet so far too.
Well, he does the all-in bet, which double or triples his amount or something like
He's
that.
gonna
It
go
is crazy.
easily. Oh, he's gonna go
So-
almost. He's gonna go into 2 million.
Yeah.
If he wins, he goes into 2 million. So yeah, that's
We'll go
Havoc,
Gohans.
you can buy the lead. Oh my.
Havoc
oh
can
my
do
God.
it.
Okay. Okay, back
All
on
right.
topic.
All right.
Talking about consistency, the Boos felt that Evil Boo was going to be their most consistent character, and probably one of their best characters coming up into the season, and he just has not. He's been really lackluster, hasn't done that great. I don't remember a match where he's really shined at all.
Right.
I know Majin Buu's had moments of brilliance. Oob has been their sort of carry consistent character, probably their best character at this point as well.
I was
Gotenks Buu he's very inconsistent. He does amazing at points, but he's so inconsistent.
I think
is-
I think it was a good switch though. I think he's
Oh,
better
yes.
than Gohan.
He has so much more potential.
Right. So like, there's a point where your planning is good, and I think they had great planning. It's just the execution leaves a little to be desired. I feel like that's Boo's main issue for this season.
Definitely.
Mm.
That is definitely a big issue on their part. I feel they really only have one very consistent character. Kid Buu, the week beforehand, he was good. Oh, he wasn't in. Never mind. The week 6.
Yeah, he's slowly been getting better, and then he kind of exploded last week.
Wait, no. Week 6 he faced androids. I'm sorry. Week 6 he got dominated by 16. This is his first week doing his usual self, and it was against Deborah, so that was pretty impressive as well. I mean, there's not really much to be said other than it's Kid Buu, and if they could keep that up with Kid Buu, that'd be amazing. But I don't know if it will, because against the androids, he wasn't like that, and it was the same AI. I don't think the build was different either. It was a similar build. Well, it was an attack build, so I mean, it was the same idea, it seems like. If Kid Buu
Right.
stays consistent, I think they have a strong chance here. I don't think Blades have a monster like that on their team. They've got more consistent characters, definitely. Their team's far more consistent. They're one of them. They have Yadrobi. They got Cyborg Tau. Tapion's sort of inconsistent, but Yadrobi, Cyborg Tau, and I think Trunks are fairly consistent characters most of the time.
Okay,
I agree.
question.
Yeah, If it-
Where
Hmm?
I'm trying to find the divisions for the teams. Is there a place?
statistics.
Oh yeah, the stat page. I can give you them if you want to.
Okay, yeah. Can you send that over?
Right.
I can. I
yeah.
can just go to the stat page. Is that you said that's where it is?
No.
Okay, I'll find it then.
Yeah. And
The
the
last
records are
record.
up. Well, if you go to the actual spreadsheet, it's got,
I got
the
it, don't worry.
updated records.
I just needed. I didn't need the win loss. I just needed the divisions. I'm making.
Okay, sorry.
I'm making cards. For
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Boos always have the potential to be the stronger team. They always have that. All their characters have the potential to be very scary. All their characters are just naturally very strong characters. They got very good B2s. They have most of them have good ultimates. A lot of them have good melee. Their only real problem is they can't seem to make their team consistent, at least not this season. And their monster, the Kid Buu, isn't super consistent, and I think that's what's holding them back. That and pretty much their only real consistent character is Oob at the moment. But
Yeah.
in their moments of brilliance, in the moments where all their team works together and none of them derp, none of them have bad days, and all of them are consistent, they usually win. It's very hard to beat them at their A
agreed.
game.
Unfortunately, they can't seem to find that a lot.
Yeah. Blades, on the other hand, they're just very good at being consistent. They're not super strong. You look at them, it's like it's just a ragtag team of somewhat good. Really, the only real scary characters I see are Cyborg Tao and Tapion, who's scary, yes, but I don't think he's one of the scariest or one of the best spammers in the game. I think he's just very consistent.
He's meh.
He's mad, but he's okay. He's mad in comparison to the really good spammers, but
Right,
he's consistent.
He's not a Maju, but I feel like he's more consistent than Maju.
Oh, yeah.
Like
He's,
Maju has a couple weeks where he just gets annihilated, and I don't think Tapion will ever have those weeks.
no, Tapion always tries. He always seems to do good. He has very good B2s. He has a 2-bar, like big ball move that does good damage. It's like 6k plus or more. It's very nice. He's pretty much built to be a spammer. The game has him to be a spammer, and he works well as a spammer. I mean, there's really nothing about it. I think the problem child, surprisingly, is Janemba.
Yeah, which is scary to think about, but anyway. One thing to note about this week is that it's the #1 team in West Kai versus the #2 team in West Kai, so it could have playoff ramifications.
Oh yeah,
later.
definitely.
And then looking at it, South Kai is basically set in stone about who's making playoffs. Unfortunately, but every other division is relatively close.
Well, yeah. West Kai's pretty close together, but we're all really close together at the bottom.
I mean, you guys are all close. Like the Ginyu's been considered one of the weaker teams in the league.
They're only
out of first place.
Ginyu's only 2 points away from the top, from being
Right.
tied to the top. That's how, and that's our bottom. That's our bottom. That's how close everyone is. Two wins away. That's it. That's crazy.
It's a good division to watch though.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hope when you're in division, it's more like everyone has high win-loss records and it's close instead of low. But you know,
I
things
prefer
happen.
close divisions to not.
Yeah, it's definitely close. It's definitely hard to fight. It's been sort of everywhere. The only team that really hasn't sort of flipped around is Ginyu, who's been at the bottom, but it looks like they're shaping up as well.
Right.
But
You guys start slow, but I feel like that division will finish really, really strong.
Oh, yeah.
I hope so. I know the Blades are definitely getting more progressively better. Janemba, if anything, I thought that would have been their monster. He is the character with the good base stats. His B2s aren't the best, but they're good. I mean,
Right.
that Shower Rain is undeniably a good B2. You can't say that's not
really,
a good
really
B2.
hard to dodge, and he throws it out at good points.
Yeah, the problem is he throws it out far away. They gotta find a way.
If he could pull off
the AI's
a
that do that.
melee step, if he could figure out how to do the melee step forward and then quickly step back and fire out your B2, he'd be so much better with it. Because then it would all hit, and it's a strong B2.
I agree with all that. Oh, something just happened.
Okay. So do we want to go to the next one?
Yes, we can. Wait, we didn't take a full vote.
Right.
Well,
that's
we need to
what I
wait
mean,
for
like,
G to
so,
get. Oh, there's G. G's back.
And he's
Okay,
back.
so
I'm sorry.
vote.
When they cut off?
I'm going Blades. I feel like if they have Cyborg Tao play like he normally does, that will give them enough of an edge. No pun intended. It'll give them enough of an edge.
Yeah, undeniably, Boos are gonna have their weakest character, and you think that'd be Majin Buu, but no, Evil Boo's just not been performing, and they're gonna have to have him in. While Blades are gonna have to have one of their better and maybe one of their best, most consistent characters, Sword Trunks, and yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one to the Blades as well. They're just the far more consistent team.
That's an interesting point. That the fact that either A, the Blades didn't, or the Boos didn't notice, or the Boos think that their weakest character is different because
Yeah.
they rotated out their weakest character the week before they faced a divisional opponent.
I definitely think they still think Majin Buu is their weakest character. I I know wholeheartedly they believed Evil Buu was very strong during the offseason, and he was going to be their second best next to Kid Buu.
Huh.
And I mean, he just hasn't, but I think they believe he can still.
Okay. Well, regardless, I'm taking Boos. I feel like Kid Boo's definitely going to be in, and I feel like he's going to be the best player on the field, and I just think that he's going to be able to take over the match.
We lost him again. Yeah, I can
sure?
tell. I'm the host, so it tells me that he dropped the call. Okay.
Okay.
So were you guys still discussing? I zoned out.
No, I think we're good. I just predicted Boos are going to win, and then you guys had already predicted, so I think we're good.
Oh, he's back.
It's 2 for Blades. Yeah, sorry. I'm cutting out here randomly. I might be gone for a little bit
Don't
to
worry
try
about it,
fix
dude.
this
Me
in a
and-
second, but
Me and
yeah.
Kay can take care of it.
Yeah.
Yep. Just
Yeah,
call me
so it's
Python.
2 for Blades, 1 for Booze. On to the next match. Valkyries at Androids. Oh, this is going to be fun.
I'm really excited for this, and not just because it's the divisional match in the vision of the team I really like, but I feel like the Vals are the best counter to androids on Kame House because they have
oh
two
my
androids,
gosh, I forgot about that.
and
Absolutely.
and they have Fasha, who's all melee, so like she
So
really
they-
doesn't
if
need
they
to charge.
have both the androids
so like
in, okay, wait, but that means they're gonna have Pan in
Which
this
they're
week,
going
though. Yep.
Are you
was
sure she
this
rotated last week?
What?
Why would you do that? Why? Say a woman
Nope.
has to be in.
Why?
Say a woman has to be in, which means they're benching either Rayleigh, Fasha, or 18 this week.
I think they might actually bench
Because
Fasha
that's
because
the least likely to charge, or that's the most
Been
likely
kinda
to charge out of
lackluster.
the group.
yeah, and admittedly she's not
Gee, you're cutting out real bad.
been her old self. Maybe
Gee, you're really cutting.
they planned for this. Maybe they.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
gonna want to
I'm-
try and fix this. We'll handle it until you come back in.
We'll take care of it. We can debate betwixt ourselves.
True. Well,
Anyway,
okay, so. Oh boy.
Val's. Well, I'm just gonna give you I ran
Go
through
ahead.
this when I saw this match this week, and I kind of ran through, like, if I was the supporter for both teams, what I would see. And obviously, they're gonna play their best characters, and that means the androids are probably gonna bench 16, and that the Vals should have benched Pan, but for some reason they're not. So that means Fasha is probably gonna be benched. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree with that. I don't agree with them benching. Who did they play this last week?
They played Namek, and I don't understand the logic behind benching Pan before a divisional
They
match.
should have benched Pan against Namek. But
Yeah. No, that was Huzzah made a mistake then, in my opinion. I feel like that
it's
mistake
going
might
to.
come back to bite.
No, there's no way that's
Because,
not coming back to bite them.
yeah,
The androids just got a huge advantage.
yeah, that's a huge because I felt before I realized that I felt the Vals were gonna win this match and send Android to the third straight loss because I feel like their four best are melee.
Yeah,
enough
they don't need to
not
charge. Yeah.
deal with water. Except for Say a Woman, but she's decent
Yeah.
enough to do it without it.
So, but now they're kind of in.
God, that annoys me because like Val's could have really helped out the
Yeah,
Rugrats.
true.
Damn it.
Mm.
Oh well, that annoys me. Just because, yeah, obviously Aurelia and 18 are going to be in because they're androids, and it's kind of countering the main android advantage that are the charging advantage.
Right.
Am I
figured-
choppy right now? I'm sorry for cutting you off. Okay, go ahead.
A little
one.
bit choppy.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what's happening.
Okay, now you're good. I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right. Then, okay, Valkyries versus androids. Yeah, I mean they're putting Pan back in. That's gonna be a bummer for them. She's their charge character. Well, usually she's the charge character.
That was
You-
a stupid decision. I'm sorry, I respect your coaching 90% of the time. That was arguable. That was a stupid coaching decision to bench and
They accidentally match her with Jiro. She's done. She does nothing. I don't
Yeah.
care if she has power body or not. Jiro usually is their Draconic
Who are we
Aura
talking
character
about,
to start
Pan?
with, and his grab will.
Pan's not gonna do anything
Yeah.
anyways.
yeah,
Well,
Pan's
okay.
gonna get destroyed.
Arguably, she can do something against 16, who is their melee character. Arguably, with power body, she has the possibility
Well,
to.
I think that they'll bench 60. Well, who did the androids
Aider,
bench
right?
last week?
Yeah,
I
Aider.
missed the match.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, okay, then I definitely think 16's their bench. So they don't even have that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know then. I mean, she could still do well. I mean, remember she didn't take down Scouter, but she did a fair amount of damage to him. She beat him up pretty badly. And this was the Scouter that fought against the Super Saiyans and Scouter that we used against the Muscle that did pretty damn well and that we feel is stronger than we've seen him since the start. So yeah, I mean, she could still do real well.
Yeah, I agree. So, but I don't know what they're gonna do. That was a dumb decision on their part.
Very, very,
So-
very dumb decision. That will definitely come back to bite them. It's going to come down to the fact that they could have had Fosh in and they have Pan in. Because I don't think they're going to bench 18 or Rayleigh, and they can't bench Say a Woman because she has all of her benches out of the way.
Yep.
So Fosh is going to be benched against arguably the best team in the league. All right, well, I think we basically discussed it enough to
Yeah,
figure out.
I've got nothing else to say. The Valves made a stupid coaching. I love their coaching normally, but this time it's just like that's a dumb decision. That might cost you the match.
I definitely think it's going to. So on 3, 1, 2,
Androids.
3, androids.
Androids. Yeah, okay. One more thing. If they have say a woman in, she's gonna have trouble as well.
Well, she has to be in. She has all her benches out of the way.
Oh, okay. I gotta say something here.
Do it.
I gotta say something here.
Okay.
You can't do this. I know she's not one of the strongest characters. I know she's a problem child at some points, but she's actually not anymore. I think she's one of their stronger characters now. She's getting up there at least.
Yeah.
You can't throw away your benches all at once. I understand. Well, I mean, I understand if you need to, if all your strong matches are first, or if all the matches you feel like you need to bench are first. Maybe it's reasonable, but it makes you so much more predictable in the future. It is absolute because for us against Muscle, we had planned in the beginning of the season to bench Raditz against Muscle. I looked over it again. I brought this issue up with my team. I told them we can't. We absolutely cannot. It'll be our last Raditz bench. We'd be so predictable after that. They'd figure out who we're benching each time. And we didn't because of that reason. Alongside, because we were already having like questions with Bardock. Alongside that, we were thinking, no, it will make us too predictable. We still got our divisional matches coming up ahead. We can't do this. And
then,
basically, Valkyries did.
Right. And that same thing could be said in reverse for Cold. Because, like, within the next 2 weeks, you will know the exact match that Frieza will be benched.
Absolutely.
Depends on if they
It's not good.
rotate him this week or next week. He's got to be rotated in one of those 2 weeks, and he's got to be benched every other week up till the end of the season.
I'm going to tell you right now, the most difficult part about figuring out the lineup of an opponent isn't where everyone's going to go. Because
It's who's the bench.
Yeah, because if you don't know who's the bench, it can change up the lineup.
the lineup itself is most of the time going to be set for most teams. You can figure that out. It's not hard to deduce that. The
Right. It's just
difficult,
who
yeah,
are they gonna bench versus us?
yeah,
And generally that gets easier when you're facing divisional matches because you can pretty much expect their best
Yeah.
team.
yeah.
Now
But you
that
throw away three benches of one of your characters already, and it becomes so much easier. You
exactly.
get countered so much easier.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was not smart on the Val's coaching staff. I'll tell you what I did when I was the Rugrats coach to start the year. What I did is I laid out a basic like setup. All right, here's our bench. We can change this as we need, but I just want to make sure we have all the benches laid out and we can adjust them as
Good
we
idea.
need to. And we've adjusted, and we've tried to adjust them. We've adjusted them 3 times since then, and it's just been like with Chi Chi doing so good, we've wanted to get her into more matches that we feel against tougher teams because she's done well, and like get people. So like we've been able to try and match strengths rather than avoid a person because we've gotten our team to be better. And I feel
Right.
like I'm sure that's what the Saiyans are trying to do.
We
And that's
did the
what
exact
ED
same
does.
thing. We've done the exact same thing. We laid out, and Dimension was actually a part of this, which is one of the reasons I like switching because when we face him, he could have known who we were going to bench against him. When he was part of us, part of the Saints, we created an entire rotational lineup, and ever since then, every single match that has come up, I always bring up to my team, even though this is who we said we're gonna bench, think about benching someone else. Don't think about doing this. It might be too predictable, and it might not be the best option because we create this rotation early in the year.
Right.
Think
Yeah.
about the other benches.
What we did is we basically said, all right, we're gonna change this up after 5 matches, and then we're gonna change it up after 10 matches, just so like we can refocus our team, try and reanalyze
that's not
who's
a bad
our
idea.
best, and then reanalyze who's our weakest, and then we can readjust benches.
Right. Yeah, that's the smart way to approach it. Make sure you're keeping your rotations keeping up with how your team is actually doing this season.
And then if you feel like, all right, this is a test week, you can put in your test characters.
Yep. All right.
And like, anyway, so we got
Yeah.
our points out of the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good. That was a good point. So Cold v Ginyu.
All right, Cold again. You go Ginyu first. Yeah.
Toku Sentai.
Toku
Toku Sentai.
Toku Sentai.
Who are they? Oh, they're
I
going
really
to.
do want them to win.
What is it?
I really want them to, but there's no chance.
63% Gildo sweep now?
Right, well,
Maybe.
No, they're definite.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna say this. Freeze's bench this week.
Oh, if he's not, then he's in
yeah.
trouble.
Well, he's either benched this week or he's benched against Namek, Rugrat, or not us. He's either gonna be benched against the Ginyu Force, the Earth
Oh,
Defenders.
have fun with that. Please
or
bench him against
Muscle.
us.
Right, but like they have 7 weeks left to bench him 3 times.
So they're in trouble.
Yes.
Sorry, Frieza, you're not on my fit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They weren't smart about
You're
that.
not on my-
They're gonna be very very predictable this last half of the year, and they're facing teams who like to counter, so they could drop.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, they're doing good, but it's really not because they're being smart with their counters or anything.
No, it's because they have a naturally good team, and Harume's kind of rolling with that, which isn't bad, but like you gotta have counters a little bit. Like we perfectly predicted the lineup that they were gonna roll last week because they don't change it any. It's not
Yeah.
hard to predict. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
share
I
it
know.
because that's unfair, but it's not that hard to predict.
Oh, don't worry.
Oh,
Dimension
yeah.
shared it.
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
It's fine. It's fine. It really isn't difficult to predict. We had a problem when facing them because we were the first team which they made the change of cooler starting. We were the first team they did that in, and it was unexpected. So, but that was like week 4.
That was
This
week
is
5.
week 5. Yeah, I mean,
And that was
you're more
their-
than halfway into the season now. You are so predictable.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they had the one switch of power body on cooler, which wasn't awful, but it just
No,
got kind of nullified.
yeah.
Like you're
I mean,
making
it's not
small changes once or twice a year. It's not. You're not.
a year.
I mean, that's what they're doing.
No, a year.
Okay, season. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, wait, what?
What
Never
did
mind.
you-
Never mind. I thought you were going to say a week.
No, I meant a year. They've literally made 2 changes all year.
What the?
Basically, I mean, like their same concept of all right, we're gonna put Savior on Mecha Frieza and Savior on Frieza and see what they can do, has been fairly consistent throughout the year.
Hmm. I mean, I like what they're doing with their builds. They definitely found strong builds for their teams, and it's working. But I don't think it's going to keep up.
Yeah,
They're so predictable.
unfortunately, they're gonna be predictable, and then
Yeah.
the teams in their division are good, and they liked. Well, Namek doesn't like to counter, but Gohan's like to counter a little bit. So if the Gohans have to face Cold, I love the Gohan's chances.
Right. I mean, I think Gohan's and Namek are just gonna. I think they're gonna overtake him easily.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree with that. We haven't even talked about this match. We've purely been talking about the lack of Frieza rotation, but it's okay.
Right. I mean, it's gonna hurt them so much, though. It's like
Yeah.
their big fault at the moment. They're so focused on doing the same thing because it's been working,
You can't
like
do
the same
that
lineup
easily.
that's been working. Yeah, you just can't.
No.
You have to change. You absolutely have to.
That's been Cold's main flaw. They're not, or both coaches that they've had, DMZ and now Harume, they just don't switch enough. They're fairly easy to predict, and they don't change that much because their characters are strong in general. So they don't feel they have to switch up anything when they really should.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, they do have strong players though. Cooler's obviously their problem child at this point.
It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, Meta Cooler's coming in. I definitely think he's like their average player. I think Cold's worse than him at this point, which is something to say because Meta Cooler used to be absolutely by far the worst character. And now he's brought himself up pretty well. They made him pretty damn good,
It's
and
terrifying.
it's nice to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an android that acts like an android finally.
Yeah. Basically what's up.
Yeah, but on Ginyu's end, wow, that last match showed us what Ginyu can do and what they did do during what was it, round 2? Or was it just the Tenkaichi Bowl in general? I think they did pretty good there near the end of the season. Last season, they weren't so bad. This is the Ginyu we all hope to see.
Yeah.
I mean, no one likes to see Ginyu doing so bad because they have the potential, but they also have some really tough challenges to overcome with Goldo and Ginyu and even Rakum to a certain extent.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But it looks like Rakum it pretty much worked exactly how they wanted, maybe even a little bit better. Jace was the monster we always used to see, and I'm not sure if he's going to be consistent. This is the build they've always been using on him, and he hasn't always done this. Murder's pretty much himself. He's back to like his original build. And I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get to see Ginyu, so
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Ginyu.
yeah, it was a new build on him. So I have no idea how he's going to work out. I don't know if he's going to be benched, but they are going to have Goldo in against Cold, and
Let's go, Goldo. You got this.
I mean, Cold. I mean, they do have some melee-focused characters. Power Body could hurt some of them, but overall, I mean, even characters like Meta Cooler would just pretty much break it with their spam in between. All of Cold's team is fairly spammy, even if they're not focused on it. So final ball.
Ginyu. Tokusentai.
No, as much as I would love that to happen, it's going to be Team Cold, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's absolutely gonna have to be Team Cold for me. I mean, Ginyu had one good showing. I don't ever take one good showing as fact.
Right.
Hey, I want them
So you
to, and
believe,
I
just
actually
not
do.
enough.
But just not enough. I hope, I don't believe. Difference.
Gotcha.
Okay, next match. We are at Majins and Muscle.
I'm making title cards for them right now.
I really do hope Muscle wins. I don't like seeing them lose. They're such a strong team.
I want Muscle to win too.
It's
I
sad
like
when they
Majins.
lose.
But I want Majub to do good because he's on my fantasy team. For now.
I also want Majub to do good.
Now the question is, am I going to replace him?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's so inconsistent. I'm sorry.
Him too.
He's not consistent.
He's just like he had the one great week in week 1, and then it was just like.
And then everyone thought he was amazing, and then yeah, maybe. Really, his counterpart Oob is far better.
Yep.
I don't know who won that bout, but I still believe Oob's better. Yeah. Anyway, Majins doing some amazing stuff with their team. Bobity's I think he's an above average character at this moment. He definitely has his weak points, and if he's countered hard. But he can definitely counter opponents as well, really well. I mean, he's really good at spamming those rush B2s. That power rage is basically, he's one of those characters where you can't take power rage off him. You just can't.
Yeah.
It's either put power rage or put dragon power. Nothing lower.
Yeah, because all his moves are rushes.
Absolutely. Except for his ultimate, but I mean, the chances of that thing hitting, not high.
Yeah. He doesn't throw it out a lot either, so.
Yeah. I mean, they just have an overall strong team. Amazingly, I mean, unfortunately, Majin Vegeta was sort of the problem child for a bit, but I mean, his sort of last stand at the end last week was kind of amazing. It looked like he was really going to bring it back. It was kind of fun to watch, and it showed how Majin Vegeta can actually be. Maju, I mean, he's not super consistent, but even when he's not doing his best, he's still doing good. And then there's Deborah. He has turned into their monster, like an absolute monster, and it's fun to watch, but also scary if you're facing him.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to have Spopovich in now.
Which isn't
Spopovich has been okay this
No,
season.
it's not. No, but I mean, I think he can get countered. I think he's one of those characters.
Oh, he can definitely get countered.
You can counter fairly easily. Yeah, alongside Bobbity, him, Spopovich, and Bobby are just those two characters that if you can figure out where they are and you counter them, you have a good chance of winning because you just took down one of their characters completely. Because, I mean, that counter hurts him bad. He had like a passive spammer on him and you win, or someone who can beat him in melee. I think he can't take someone who can beat him in melee. Not exactly have a faster melee, but someone dodgier than him should basically do it. Because, I mean, we've seen that against Trunks, Spopovich can still win, even though Trunks has the faster melee and is far more aggressive. I mean, does anyone have anything to say about Majins, or should I just move on?
Go to Muscle, dude.
All right, then. They got Roshi.
Game over. The end.
Hey, they're going to have 13 in. I think that's a smart choice against a team like the Majins. Save one of your better characters for them. I think 13, though maybe not being as scary as people think he can be, is still one of the scarier enemies to face, one of the scarier opponents to face in the game. He's still an android, he's still super aggressive, and he loves using his ultimate when he can. When he gets into that max power, I think he picks his ultimate almost 9 out of 10 times. It's crazy, and it's so hard to dodge. And I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I've only seen 2 people ever dodge that. And Nam was like running his ass off to get away from it. Yeah, I mean, Roshi's always a very solid character. Surprisingly, the Dragon Ball character has pretty bad stats naturally, but they just got him working. He's a great spammer, and he's very aggressive in melee. He's got that fast melee as well.
Yeah, the fast melee is something that Muscle really lacks, and that's why I think that they don't use both Garlic's final form and Roshi's final form because they all have slow melee. And if they all had slow melee, they would be countered so easily. It'd be ridiculous.
They are very smart in versifying their team. I don't know, diversifying their team like this, getting some sort of flexibility around. Their team is undeniably B2 heavy. Absolutely. They've got only one character who's ever truly on an attack build, it seems, and that's Garlic. And I even think 13 is sometimes on a. I mean, 13 is on a attack build, and I even think he's sometimes focused as a spammer at points because he can do it. He can absolutely do it. Almost all androids can do that. Like, you know, probably not meta cooler, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. But I understand your point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Muscle for being a team that's focused on their muscles, they don't use their muscles a lot.
Yeah, they they really like those beams. They're like, these are just for show. I can't ruin them.
Yeah, I can't touch these perfect guns.
Can't let anyone touch these. Get away.
Flex.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they've got a strong team.
We can't negate this fact. Muscle has trap shooter.
Yes, trap shooter is.
How could I forget the game's over? I vote for Muscle. Let's go next match.
I think without giving my I'm giving my vote pretty much right now. I think Muscle will pull this out. So because they've just got overall the strongest team. The Majins, Deborah, and to some degree Bobbity have been the only consistent players that have been playing good for them. While all of Muscle has shown that they can play good, and the majority of them have played consistently good.
I think the only ones inconsistent are Bojack. Bojack's pretty inconsistent.
Bojack's inconsistent. I think Broly's not as consistent as he possibly could be.
He's just outside of his legendary form. He's just not that great.
Meh.
He's a below average character. That defense build is very nice on him. I think it's super smart. It benefits him a lot outside of his legendary form, but it even benefits him in his legendary form, which is very nice.
Yeah, well,
he has pretty good B2s.
I was talking to Viper a decent amount, and he said that he's tried basically every AI he can think of to let them transform, and they don't transform early, regardless of what he does. Yeah. And that just stinks for the Team Muscle, because if 2 of those 3 transform to their muscled state, obviously the 3 I'm talking about are Bojack, Broly, and Android 13. If 2 of those 3 transform, they become a completely different team than they are when they don't transform.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, absolutely know the feeling that Viper's going through. We did it, the Saiyans did throughout the entire offseason, trying to find AIs that would make King Vegeta and Scatter transform more likely and earlier, and it just doesn't happen. There are a couple AIs that do focus transforming over stuff, but not a lot.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that involves B1 stocks, which could involve Kabitas, but then you're wasting 2 points on something that may or may not work.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's why I just don't think it's a smart idea to focus with that.
Yeah, that's what he basically said. It's like, I wish I could find a way to make it consistent and like make this the team that always transforms, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So I got to try and do what I can do with the team I have in base form. And if they transform, all the better for me.
Yeah, that's a good description.
That's probably the best mentality you could do.
Yeah. I think that's all we have to talk about on this.
Yep, so I don't think I voted. I'm going to go with Team Muscle.
Okay, G, you got to vote?
He's gone. He votes Muscle.
Okay. Well,
far more
is that
consistent.
The last match, or do we have one more?
We got 2 more. One more. Rugrats, DB Warriors.
Oh, boy. You can go ahead and talk. This is your team.
Yeah. Okay, the Rugrats, I am going to vote for them now. But Not just because they're my team. I feel like the Rugrats are overall much more consistent than DB Warriors, and for some reason, Vindicated just can't seem to get his team working like they were last season. I don't know what's going on. It's whether his countering's just not as great as it was last year, whether his characters are dropping the ball more than they were last year, or something like that. I can't see, for some reason, DB Warriors doesn't seem as consistent. And it's not like, that early Goku was supposed to transform their team because he gave them a little bit more, better B2s, better character type deal than Grandpa Gohan, and he has not performed
He hasn't
up to the
performed hardly
standard
at all.
that I was led to believe by both Vindicated and Burn that early Goku was going to be able to change the league, and he's not changing the league at all.
They said he was gonna be. They said he was gonna be. The reason they were fighting over him is because he was consistent.
Wait,
There
what
is
team
no
was he
proof
on
of
last
that.
year?
Consistently poor. He was
None.
not on the team last year.
I mean, they said he was consistent. That's why they wanted him. That's why they fought over him, because he was more consistent than Chaozu and he was more consistent than Grandpa Gohan. But no, he's just not being consistent. I mean, maybe he's more consistent than Grandpa Gohan, but he's not showing that he could be better than Grandpa Gohan. I remember seeing Grandpa Gohan do amazing feats. I remember him destroying teams before, being very dodgy. He uses after image a lot. He was a very good character. They got him working.
I liked Grandpa Gohan a lot. And when they said that Grandpa Gohan just wasn't up to snuff for their team, that kind of made me scratch my head because, like, what are you holding your team up to? Because DB Warriors are
They're
naturally one of
probably
the weaker
holding
teams.
them up to Nom.
And they made it up. Right. Well, no, he's not going to be Nom. I'm sorry. Nom's your best character. Take that and run with it. He's your best character. You can't. Not everybody on your team is going to be Nom-esque. They just have naturally worse stats.
I mean, maybe it's just that, early Goku did show the potential in the off season, but he's not doing it now for some reason.
Yeah, he can't show it now.
And I do believe they can get him working. I don't doubt their decision to pick him up, but still.
Oh, here's the second point. Did he do good in the minors last year? Is that the reason why he was picked up?
I have no idea. I didn't see it last season.
Okay. Because if he was consistent in the minors, I would go to that minor build that was consistent. Because you're looking for consistency. I'm not seeing it. I haven't checked their builds at all for him, but it doesn't look like they're being very consistent with what they want him to do. They're still trying to figure out what's the best build for him, and it's not working. Or it hasn't worked yet, I guess is the correct way of putting that.
Okay.
Kale, would you like to ever elaborate on anything?
What?
For Dragon Ball Warriors, would you like to elaborate on
I believe
anything?
that Tao can't lose, and that he needs to not lose to be able to not lose.
But that's Cyborg.
What?
Yeah.
This one says you'll die. The other one says you can't lose.
Well, then Cyborg Tao cannot lose, and then Tao can die.
Okay.
I think he's like saying it to other people. Right then.
Okay, so I'm going through old builds of DB Warriors for shits and giggles, and he seems to early Goku seems to be Broly AI 90% of the time, and so that means they're probably trying to make him a meleeer, but it hasn't worked out for him yet.
Yep.
So.
I mean, he fought Yamcha.
Did he fight?
I mean,
did he fight him
okay.
evenly?
Their team is far too focused on melee, if
That's
that's
exactly
the case.
why we benched Mid Goku
Yeah.
this week, because we knew that Spam wasn't going to help us out that much.
No, I mean, they've got so much melee, it's impossible to spread. I mean, they had early Goku and Nam be melee characters this week, and then Kid Goku was also supposed to be melee, but they basically didn't have a blue Pitar for him, so they didn't give him one. He had Serious Light Body, Conic Aura, and Power Rage.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Like Grandpa Gohan was good for their team. He was a B2 person who didn't need melee to be good. He was good at B2s. So that means they had the blue Pitaris to spread around to their melee need characters. like Pilaf needs a blue attack, or Pilaf's a B2 person ish. I could consider him
He's
melee
melee.
also.
He's
I'll call
definitely
him
melee.
mixed. Yeah, but like he's got decent B2s. His rolling smash is good. Then you got early Goku, who's they're trying to make melee. I might consider trying to make him B2 for that same reason.
They did. I mean, it wasn't working. I think they need to find a new AI. I mean,
Yeah.
Broly AI might be their best right now, but they need to keep experimenting. AIs tend to start working for some reason out of nowhere at random points. Like, um, what was it? We've been considering a couple new AIs for Bardock that just never ever worked during the off season, but they're showing potential now in our tests. So it's odd, but it's worth looking into because I
Right.
think early Goku could be your well-rounded character or even a pure spam character. He has the potential for that.
Yeah, and that's why they added him, in my opinion. But like, Kid Gohan's an offensive person. Early Goku's an offensive person. Nam's an offensive person, and then they have Pilaf on a super build.
Uh-huh. Let me check their Cyborg Tao. I think Cyborg, I mean, General Tao. I think he has Key +1 most of the time. I'm gonna check the week before, which was Key +2. Yeah, he is their spam, but he's also very well rounded. He has serious and quick fast attack. Again, they are such a melee heavy team. Even Pilaf could do melee if you just throw power body on him.
Right. Do they run? Okay, they do run Power Body on. Okay. Yeah. That kind of limits what they're able to do when all of your team prefers melee and you can't throw melee AI or Batara on them. Kind of
Yeah.
limits what you can do.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the reasons you gotta find a versatile team. You gotta find a mixed team. You can't have a one sort of one side focused team. It's the reason we dropped King Vegeta. He was taking up too many charge patars and our team was too charge heavy and we felt that Nappa could do without some and he can work without the patars that King Vegeta was using. And it helps. It really does. It leaves Scatter and Bardock be so much better.
Yeah, that's another reason why that Kid Gohan change or the Team Gohan change was a nice decision because it freed up Patara for other
Yeah.
people.
He doesn't have to be this style of a strong Super +2 character anymore. He can take that off. He can be a key character. He could be a Super +1 character. Heck, you could give him attack +1 and a lot of charge.
Yeah, he could be a melee person. Like that kind of flexibility is the thing that I don't think is stressed enough in this league. If your team's really flexible, you're gonna be good because you can adjust to things that other teams do to you. While if you're not flexible, then you start to kind of become very predictable in this type of league where people analyze everything you do and you can become countered very easily. And I feel like that's the downfall, or that's going to be the downfall of Cold, and it might become the downfall of other teams that I'm just not thinking of. But like teams like Cold who and DB Warriors who either A choose not to switch or B can't really switch in variant, it becomes very predictable and they become lackluster because of it.
I don't have anything else to add to that. That's pretty true.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're limited. They definitely have one of the hardest teams to build for. They're they're there with Derp and they're there with Ginyu having to build for one of those teams which just has bad starting characters. I don't think it's as bad as Derp. I don't think it's as bad as some of Ginyu's characters. I mean, it's not like they have a Goldo, it's not like they have a Herc on their team, but all their characters are far below average.
Right, and the fact that they made it up to East Kai is remarkable in that.
Yeah.
Especially in this type of league. Like Derp was East Kai in season 4, but the league's evolved so much since then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you want to vote now? I said my.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you went over all of Rugrats, and we've taken up a lot of time on this. So yeah, let's vote. I'm gonna have to go with Rugrats. They have the stronger team generally, and they're very consistent. They're one of those like really well-rounded teams, and the only reason they lose is if they get countered bad or their team derps.
Um,
I'll vote Rugrats.
I'm also going Rugrats because DBW hasn't proven to me that they can be consistent enough to beat any team.
All right. That's 3-0, and that'll wrap up
That's
the
2-hour
predictions portion. Hey, it was informative.
A great time.
It was.
And I hope to see you guys back here for the Fantasy League section.
If you still have
We'll
time
make sure
after-
that one's
Don't worry,
3
we're
hours
definitely
long for
going
you.
to.
Right.
Especially since this week is swap week.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
discuss
yeah.
every single character. We're talking 7-hour
Oh,
YCast
we're
this
doing it.
week,
Let's
boys.
go.
I think we're gonna do a live stream 24 hours
We'll
long.
do that.
Our
catch
We'll,
ups.
we'll do that.
Oh
We'll do
god,
it.
no.
Okay.
Hey, if we have the time, sure.
No, it doesn't matter if we have the time or not. It's gonna happen.